with GMCBuick.com.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy for just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Alberta, this one's for you. Around here, trust takes a few winters. It's why players have known Jackpot City since 1998. Home to hundreds of exciting casino games.
If gambling is affecting your or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca.
Hey there, it's Brandon Douglas from Sports 1440. I was tired of slow unreliable internet connection, so I signed up for reliable evening batteries and it makes gaming so much fun. Summer doesn't need a break from watching sports, and I've been streaming all the games seamlessly when at the family farm, despite the remote location. If you're ready for a better internet experience, you can order online in 2 minutes at starlink.com/radio or call 1-888-GO-STARLINK.
School's almost out, and road trip season is just around the corner. But if your brakes sound like they're grinding harder than a hockey fourth liner, it might be time to visit Napa Auto Parts. Napa has all the quality parts, tools, and know-how to help keep your vehicle running smoothly and road ready. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online
around the second base bag. Big lead. He's jumped out to it.
That's Napa know-how.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
We were at a party with some friends. I was having fun. He wasn't. He gave me a look, grabbed my arm, squeezed, then yanked me towards
the front door. Was under his watch 24/7. He didn't install a doorbell camera for safety. He did it to control me, to track me, to keep me at home, right where
he got inches from my face and started yelling, asking, "Why do you smile at other guys so much?" I rubbed the marks on my arm. I still felt his fingers digging
into my bank accounts. He changed my passwords, locked my cards, said I couldn't be trusted with my own money. It hurt.
More than you can imagine.
Tech abuse is real abuse. If you or someone you know is using technology to harm or control, change is possible. Learn how to end the violence at alberta.ca/endgbv. A message from the Government of Alberta.
The Jason Gregor Show. On Sports 1440.
Puck is in, and the Pirates find themselves even with Arizona. A thriller in Pittsburgh tonight.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
To center field, that's well hit, going back on it, and it is gone. 2-run home run. Bryce Harper is 22nd home run of the year, and the Phillies jump out to a 2-0 lead.
.202. How are you? Welcome. Tuesday afternoon edition of the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, Sports 1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Connor Halley, myself here, Declan Kruger, of course, overseeing things at YouTube, Facebook, and X. Give him a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. He'll definitely appreciate it, as will we. So thank you very much. Hope you're having a lovely Tuesday afternoon. Hey, no rain today so far. Well, at least in our neck of the woods, which is a positive. I still can't get over the videos of Connor's Road flooded. What? Like areas in the city last night. That's when you know that we're getting a lot of rain, that you're getting floods in places that I don't think I've ever seen flood before. So wild stuff. Lots to get to today. We're going to continue around the NHL. Anthony LaPanta will join us. We'll go to the Wild and see. Are they going to lock up Quinn Hughes this summer? They can. Final year of his deal starts now. So, technically July 1st. So they have that opportunity. You know, people wondering, did they wait too long and miss out on Trocheck because they thought they were going to get Dylan Larkin, and now maybe that's not going to happen. No, we'll talk about that. Dave McCarthy from SiriusXM. We got Ted Nagayan joining us, talking a little NFL, as of course you see teams getting into camps. You got exhibition games going on next week. Man, there'll be a double dose of football, CFL and NFL. If you're a real football fan, I think you like both. I've never really understood the need to want to. You might like one a little bit more than the other. That's fine. I've never really understood those who are like, oh, yeah, one sucks. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Jake Lanferman will join us as the Riverhawks will wrap up the regular season on the road, and that could impact how many home playoff games they get. So we'll talk to Jake about that. We got Spec, Cam Tate, some stats of the day. We'll get to our roundtable with Declan and Connor. As always, we'll take your thoughts, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440 is where you can get involved. The Gregor Show, always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where tonight, Lotto Max, 10 million and 10 prizes of 100K. You could be a winner. Good luck at PlayAlberta.ca, where all of the revenue stays right here in the province, which is really nice. We are 6 days away from trade deadline in MLB. The Blue Jays, Max Scherzer pitched 75 pitches last night. Gets a no decision because he didn't go the full 5 innings. The Jays get a win. I'm not really sure it matters at this point, although they did gain ground in the wild card race last night. They are they're 5 games behind Cleveland, so who have continued to lose. So dare to dream, Jays fans. It's a slim dream, but you never know. Sure, they would have to go on like a ridiculous heater, but other teams have done it. But odds are pretty low. It's more so the odds are obviously going to be much lower after the trade deadline, as I think there was going to be a fair amount of players traded between now and Monday, I would think, for the Blue Jays. But we'll see. That's why you play the games. Now, one other thing, we got a lot of texts. I don't know where this is coming from. So I don't know, did somebody write an article or somebody make up something online about the orders and Isaac Howard? We'll get to that coming up in the program today. The Edmonton Elks, of course, back on the practice field today as they get set to take on the Rough Riders on Saturday. And if you want to go to the game, good for you. You should go. You'll be entertained. Can never guarantee a win. Of course, Saskatchewan's good. Edmonton's good. Should be a hell of a game. That's what I'll say. I'd love to see 70 more points again. I'd love to see it come down to the final play of the game. Might be asking a bit much, but I would expect to be another highly entertaining game. There hasn't really been any duds in the Elks games this year at all, which is nice. You know, you've had some frustrating ones, sure, but I think overall the games have been pretty good, pretty exciting. So we'll touch on it. The stats where the Elks come out at, and they're good in a lot of different situations. You look at the Elks, overall they're 6-1. They're the only, they're 3-0 at home. Montreal is 4-0 at home. The Elks, as well as Calgary and Montreal, the only teams. Oh, no, and Winnipeg, fun enough. How about the Bombers? They're 3-0 on the road. The only undefeated team in the league on the road, but they're only 1-3 at home. That is it's quite an odd one for them. You look at when leading after the first quarter, the Elks are 3-0. When leading at halftime, they're 4-0. When leading after the third quarter, they're 6-0. They've yet to give up a lead when leading going into the final quarter. So turnovers, obviously the Elks are 5-0 when they have more takeaways than the other team, and they're 1-1 when the other team, including the Saskatchewan game, because Edmonton actually had more turnovers in that game than the Saskatchewan, but they won it. So usually when they win the takeover battle, they're 5-0, and if they lose it, they're 1-1, which isn't bad, because most teams, when they lose it, like look, Ottawa 0-5, BC 0-4, Calgary 0-2, Hamilton 0-2, Toronto 0-2, Winnipeg 1-3. Usually it's a pretty good sign that if you turn the ball over more than your opponent, your odds of winning are much, much lower. So what's interesting about the CFL this year is if they have a new ranking that's called the Game Quality Index, which means the number of games where there's comeback wins, lead changes, the decide in the last 3 minutes, total scoring. So right now, granted, we're getting close to the halfway point of the season. But this year so far, total scoring, 60 points on average per game, up from 52.9. A full touchdown more per game so far this year in the CFL. 73% of games have been decided in the final 3 minutes. Last year, it was 41%. It was 41 out of the 81 games, 51%. The 3 prior years was 60%, but right now it's 73. So it's been pretty entertaining. You don't want to go away. The average point differential is 8.9, which is down from 11.4 last year. So the games are closer, which is obviously good. Lead changes so far about there's been 45 through the games, and that is on pace to be much higher than any other season. Obviously, I can't go to all of them because the most was they had 105 last year, and we're not even at the halfway point of the season. There's already 45, so that's good. Comeback wins already at 18, so it's good. Big play offense. That's obviously been up in the CFL. Look at touchdown drives, and this is the one to me that's maybe the most important number. Touchdown drives across the league, not just for good teams, but across the league, are 22.5% of possessions turn into touchdowns. The last few years was 17%, and it was 16% in 23 and 22. So it's up significantly early on. Pass efficiency rating is over 100 for the first time in 5 years. Well, probably ever, if I look at now. Season's not over, so it would be better probably if they did it, I think, through 8 games. Might be better, just my opinion, but either way, it's up. Big plays per game, over 6.1 big plays per game. And I love it. Cons, you've been watching it. We see it with the Elks. Like, look at how many big plays the Elks have had this year. From Rankin himself, not to mention Mac, not to mention Julian Grant, all of them. Like, they've had way more plays of over 30 yards this year than we've seen in a long, long time from the green and gold. And that in itself, big plays are exciting, right? It's like an end-to-end run. Like, goals are exciting in hockey, don't get me wrong, but some goals are more exciting. And big plays are more exciting.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I said it earlier on this week, like, yeah, winning's fun, but winning with a lot of points is a lot of fun too. That's how you're going to get a lot of the casual fans to get into the game. Like, oh my goodness, I love the deep ball, Austin Mack, whoever it might be. When the Elks were doing that against the Riders, I think a lot of people were kind of, oh, they can do this. And we started to see it. We saw them attack the seams. We saw big plays downfield from broken plays on the defensive side of the football. That's huge. That's absolutely massive. And for me, just watching the Elks, I kind of hope that opens it up for them a little bit more here. Like when defenses start to see, oh, they can do this. Okay, well, man, we got to guard it. Okay, well, now that's going to open up things for Justin Rankin here on the ground and vice versa, the chess game that is CFL football. It's been an awesome season so far, Gregor. I think the rule changes have been fun. Yeah, you're going to hear from the negative Nancy's. That's always going to be out there. But overall, I think it's been a fantastic CFL season.
Honestly, the negatives are I hate to say it, but they're kind of irrelevant. There's so few of them, there's no point even discussing it. Anybody who complains about the rule changes has been proven incorrect thus far. Scoring's way up, right? Like people trying to say, oh, I missed the Rouge. What are you talking about? You want to see Toronto go to overtime because they missed a short field goal? Really? And guess what? Rouge is still allowed, but it's up to the team who's defending to choose. You kick it in the end zone. Now, if I field it and elect to take a knee, then it's a Rouge. But if I run it out, there's no Rouge. If it goes out the back of the end zone, there's no Rouge. I love the new rule. Honestly, I think it's great. Like that Toronto game was all the game I needed to see all year long. Imagine going to overtime on a missed field goal from inside the 30. Give me a break. Shouldn't happen. So I absolutely I love it. Hey, Gregor, what about attendance in CFL? It's up. It's up over where it was last year. It's awesome. So you look at Edmonton, they're up, and you look at what's going to happen this weekend, that Saskatchewan-Edmonton game. Ticket sales are going very well right now, and when people look at the weather, I think it's going to be even better. Obviously, there's always going to be a walk-up crowd in the CFL in Edmonton, always. And so it's, you know what? You will have a bigger base when you increase your season ticket hold, right? That's just a fact. But there was already over 2,500 tickets sold on the weekend for this game. So those aren't season tickets. Those are people buying more tickets, and that's awesome. So, you look at that. There's going to be more leading up the entire week. And then on walk-up days, it's sunny out. It's not raining. People are going to go. Why wouldn't you? It's going to be a hell of a game. And winning brings people in. It's just a fact. You'd be sleeping under a rock if you haven't heard about how much better of a team the Elks are right now. They're the best team in the CFL. They beat Montreal. They beat Saskatchewan. They beat Winnipeg. They're 6-1. They're the best team in the league. Tied for the best record, but the team tied with them, they beat. So automatically, Edmonton should be number one. Montreal's still really good. This doesn't mean you win the Grey Cup. You get into the playoffs, anything can happen. Health is going to be a factor. And the good news for Edmonton is they just got through a game where they didn't have any injuries for the first time all year. And they're getting some guys back. O'Donnell makes their offensive line better. That's big news. You bring in Mogensen. Now your special teams is a little bit better. And next week, Nick Anderson comes back in. And, that'll give them some different options on what they want to do defensively. And, are you going to start Nick Anderson? Are you going to mix him in with Jabomi? We'll see. Nick's going to have to stay healthy here. That's just a fact. He had a great rookie season, but since then, he's been banged up a lot. And I'm not saying it's going to be Lou Gehrig here, Connor Halley, but let's be honest, man. Jabomi, who's a starting Canadian, and he's playing that well as a rookie, I'm telling you, he's big, long. This guy is, him and DeBlanco are your future. And Nick Anderson isn't old by any stretch. So I just don't know if there's going to be room for both of them long term.
I would agree with you 100%. And, the best availability, but he's gotten better each game. And he's given me remember AJ Gass on 3rd and short, how he would fly over the pile? I've seen him do that a couple of times. He's going to get the highlight reel because he's going to make some stops like that. But the first game against BC, I thought there were some questions, but the game slowing down as it does, I thought that would happen. I didn't think it would happen this fast for him. He looks like he's a CFL player ready to go here. And that's huge news. The depth that this team has built up is something we've praised the staff for, and having guys being prepared, ready to go. I'm sure he was in the film room watching it, breaking it down with JC Sherritt. Couldn't have a better coach. He's been very impressive.
Hey, Greg's, it's time to support the local owner who purchased the team, Larry and Deb Thompson. They've done everything right so far. The team is winning. It's time, Edmonton, to show up and support your team. From Jason. Fair point, man. Right, Larry and his wife Deb purchased the team. Unfortunately, Larry isn't able to watch and see the team that he purchased and really saved. Let's be honest. Make no mistake about it. I don't know what would have happened if the Thompsons didn't come in to buy the team. Now, I know there were other groups interested, so somebody would have bought it, but the Thompsons, right, they won the bid. And you look at what Deb, who still owns a team, and she's put in her mouth where her money is. She's spending lots of money. They're going to be putting that dome outside of Clark, which is going to allow more opportunities for athletics and other things moving forward here. It's great. And yeah, I think it's important. Support a team that does a lot in the community. The ownership that's currently there now has nothing to do with the name change. Right? They had nothing to do with the previous losing for a long time. Since they've come over, Larry Thompson, he's changed a lot. He brought in Chris Morris, who brought in Ed Hervey. And look what's happened now. They brought back credibility and respect to the organization, which hasn't been there for quite some time. And to me, that's music to the ears. I think the football team is a big part of the community, and it has been for a long, long time. There's lots of people who play football. There's lots of people who love watching football, and it's important. And you're not going to be a dominant team every year, but you want to be a competitive team, and you want a team that fans can be proud of. And for a lot of time, they weren't. But they're coming back. And with that, I believe the fans will come back. I won't be surprised at all to see it plus 30,000, maybe close in on the biggest crowd of the year in the CFL this year, which is 32 in Winnipeg. 32,000, that is. So we'll see. I think there's a good chance for it. Ticket sales are going. You can get your tickets. We'll have some tickets to give away later on this week in the show as well. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Greggs, what's the deal with the new TV deal for the NHL? Well, there's really no, all it is Sportsnet has made a partnership with Prime Video, a sub-licensing agreement for NHL rights in Canada is how it works. So they have exclusive rights to select Stanley Cup playoff series in Canada, comprised of 2 first-round playoff series and 1 second-round series per year. Now, this, I got to assume it's not the Canadian teams. That's what I'm assuming. I'm going to guess it's going to be the non-Canadian teams. Now, I could be wrong, but they're also going to get 26 national regular season NHL games beginning Wednesday, September 30th, available only on Prime Video in Canada at no additional cost to Prime members. So if you have Prime, this is great for you. If you don't, they're putting their hands in your pocket again if you choose to do it. And, hey, I could see how people are annoyed. So Sportsnet increased their rates, first of all, for this season. And now they've added Prime to take on Wednesday night games. Is it Apple who has Monday cons? Is that who it was last year?
For
NHL.
It was
NHL?
Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay. So now Amazon, so this is just moving to Wednesdays from Mondays? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, that's what it looks
Okay.
like.
So they're moving to Wednesdays still. Now, maybe some of you bought it last year, but if you don't have them, now it's an extra cost to watch your team. I know some people say, oh, that's just the cost of doing business. Sure, to a point. Right? It is to a point. Some people might not buy it. They'll say, you know what? Hey, maybe I'll go to my friend's house. Maybe I'll just not watch this one. I'll watch the highlights. It's very possible. Some of you will probably watch some illegal streaming. I don't trust that only because of too much crap that can get downloaded onto your laptop. But that's just me. I'm kind of old school that way. So we'll see. But that's the new deal there. So you'll have Wednesday night games on Prime. And they're going to get some playoff ones. But I'll tell you, if you have a Canadian team who has their playoff games on Prime and not on TV, that's not going to go over very well. Nor should it. Because that would be the ultimate greed money grab, in my opinion. So you know what? There's getting too many streams. And people are paying for everything. They're not going to like it. So take a quick break. We'll return. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love, better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquessential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Hurry in for hot summer savings at Wolf GMC Buick. Take advantage of 0% purchase financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 pickups. 0% purchase financing for 36 months on select new 2026 Sierra 2500 Denali and Denali Ultimate models. Plus, huge cash savings on GMC Sierra heavy-duty trucks. And ask about the $1,000 truck trade-in bonus and low-rate lease offers. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Cantork has always been a forward-thinking company, but now that we've turned 25, I can't help but take a minute to take a look back. Thank you to everyone that's been with us along the way.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
At Papa John's, we know it's not just a pizza. It's a family gathering, a happy birthday, a special celebration, or just a sigh of relief at the end of a busy day. For a limited time, get large one-topping pizzas for only $14.99 each on original, thin, or New York-style crust. Use promo code L1499 at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Mr. Rooter has deja vu. Mr. Rooter has deja vu. The bathroom is right over there, Mr. Rooter.
Thank you, good sir. Wait, I swear I've plunged this toilet before. It was clogged with a snow globe. Am I living in a time loop? Oh, good. It's just a voodoo doll that looks exactly like me. Whew, what a relief.
For a plumbing experience you'll want to relive, call Mr. Rooter.
I missed one payment, then another. Now I feel behind on everything. I can't keep up.
Falling behind happens to more people than you think, but there is a solution. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. Together, we can create a plan that fits your situation and helps you get caught up and back in control. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairies Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions. Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the Bro Zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Let's do it.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. Fundraise for your team or charity at On the Rocks. They'll make custom tickets for your event that includes no line, cover, and one drink for your event. You keep the profits. Learn more at ontherocksyeg.com.
The Jason Gregor Show. The best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
25. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, as well as YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. As always, we appreciate it. And this is not great. This just coming down from the Alberta Emergency Alert. They have issued a tornado watch. The alert is in effect for a large part of central Alberta in between Edson and Edmonton and a few hundred kilometers to the north and south of these places. So basically, if you live in that area or anywhere from Edmonton, well, Edmonton's just kind of on the edge. It's probably looking more that it's going to be west of Edmonton. That's where they're talking about right now. So potential for hail up to the size of a baseball. So if you can, maybe park your vehicles where they can get out of danger, and anything else. Anything that can blow away, you might want to put in a garage or somewhere else. So this is not great, but this is coming for later on this evening, right now. Okay, so take precautions, plan ahead, and the summer of storms continue in central Alberta, Edmonton and area. So hope everyone is safe. Plan ahead. Hunker down. Great news is you can always have radio. So I always try to find a positive. And there you go. So, hey, Gregor, imagine if the Oilers' first round series only on Prime, people would stroke. Wow, I can't see that because you're paying lots of money in your Sportsnet. That's your biggest audience, their playoff games. So I think it's going to be, because you know what? Right now they'll carry, the series that is 2 American teams. I could see that going on in Canada because, some people would watch it, but not nearly as many. Like if you have any Canadian team in the playoffs, your fan base is glued in, right? And whether it's your diehard fans, your fans who watch half the season, your fans who watch one game a year, everybody watches in the playoffs, right? It's just different level. So I would be stunned. That would be a terrible business model to do that. So it's not ideal. Hey, boys, so Sportsnet announced last week they're raising the rates, and now you're going to have fewer games. It's not a good max. No, it isn't MTR. It's not. It's, right, it's like everything's getting more expensive now. And so we all have to choose, unfortunately, on different things. So, maybe you sit down with your buddies and say, hey, you know what? Why don't you get the membership? Maybe we'll split the costs. And because keep in mind, the majority of the games are, because these games are only going to be if you look at the order schedule, and I'll pull it up right now, because they'll have some games. It doesn't mean that every one of the order games will be on there, of course. But let's just look at how many Wednesday games the Oilers have this year. Right, so in September, obviously none. They have one in Anaheim on October 7th. They have one home game against the Flames on the 28th. So 2 games in October on Wednesdays. In November, they have a home game against Philadelphia on the 11th, and that's it. In December, they play a Wednesday night on the 30th. So now that's 1 in November, 1 in December, 2 in October. So we're up to 4. Now you look at January, and by my calculations, a home game against the Sharks, a road game against Vegas. So 2. Now we are up to 6. 1, 2 in February. That's 8. 1 in March, and 1 in April. So 10 of their games. So now out of those 10, what do we say? 3, maybe 4 would be there. So if you look at it and you say, okay, how many of the Wednesdays? And now there are some Monday games too. So would it be potentially 10? Now remember many years ago, remember when they had the pay-per-view? What was that, like 10 games a year? I think Connor Halley people would pay for it. But the difference was that was a pay-as-you-go, right? This is now you got to get a subscription for the whole year. And I can see a lot of people saying, no, it's select games. Maybe those games, maybe I can't watch it anyway because I have, other commitments, work, life, kids, whatever it is. Other people will be like, you know what? I'll go to my buddy's house. Maybe they have it. Right? Because some of you have Prime right now. Some of you have Netflix. Not everybody. Like I don't have Prime. I don't have every streaming service. I don't necessarily need it. So, but I can see how sports, obviously you're listening to this station, sports mean a lot to you. So I can understand why people be frustrated. I get it. Because it just feels like, you know what? Yeah, they're always wanting to put your hand in your pocket. So, I totally understand it. You know, I can tell you one thing. There'll never be a pay-as-you-go for radio when we're here. So, you know what? We thank our sponsors. Make sure your way to support them is, you know what? Buy from the sponsors who, or use the sponsors who advertise in our station. That's your way. I'm not forcing you to do anything, but that's just a little bit of a, pay it forward kind of thing. So you don't have to pay for radio, which is always a good thing.
Do you remember the cost for the Oilers pay-per-view games?
I think, well, if you bought the whole package, right, was it like $10 a game? And then I think if you did it on a per game basis, it was like 15.
Yeah, so you could get $12 for standard, 15 for HD.
Oh, okay.
And they did 16 games in the 2009 season.
16, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Now, and so that was a per game that you would go on.
That was per game, yeah.
Per game. Okay. So, I don't recall. Well, I think for work I had to get it, but obviously the home games I didn't do because they were at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even remember how many it was, to be honest. So, but that was a short-lived time, and this is obviously not pay-per-view, but kind of is in a way. And then we got a lot of texters that are fired up about this, and I get it. So. Hey, boys, this tracks back to player salaries, 10 plus million salaries. The owners extract more from TV rights. It all cascades down. Yeah. Hey, man, it's not so much. It's just, the increased salary cap. Now, you look at it. The floor in the NHL this season is $76.9 million. It wasn't long ago that was the ceiling of the NHL salary cap. So, yes, it has gone up significantly. And with that, like you can say, okay, they're getting more in advertising, which is true, but it's always going to come down to, they're getting the consumer. Now, advertisers do pay a lot too. Don't get me wrong. They pay a hefty chunk of that. But, in the case of this, like the last, when the NHL salary ceiling was $76 million was 2018. It was $79 million in 2019. This year, the floor is 77, and the ceiling is 104. Like you just look in 24, so which would be technically 3 seasons ago because it was 23-24. The salary cap was $83.5 million, and it's gone up $20 million just in 4 years, and it's going to go up another $9 million next year. I've always said it, like. Lots of teams are not going to be spending all the way to the cap because, you're in Edmonton, a diehard hockey market, one of the best hockey markets, one of the best sporting markets in North America. Make no mistake about it. Edmonton fans are diehard loyal. They're sports fans through and through, and we've seen it. There's a reason why we just had rugby come here. Why? Because fans show up. And like I know right now people say, "Oh, I haven't showed it." Well, the Elks kind of. Every fan has a limit of, hey, you know what? You got to treat me with a little bit of respect. And I get that. But now you watch the Elks build back trust in their community, build back respect in their community, and the fans will come back. I have no doubt in my mind because a lot of you have great memories of it. I went out to lunch today. Duncan and Felicia from Go Auto. And we were talking about, going to the games and different stages of your life, what you went to. Like, the biggest bar in Edmonton used to be the North End Zone, right? In between both sides. You'd buy your ticket and you'd stand there and everybody was visiting. It was a great time, right? Socializing. Then a bad decision. Remember when they closed that bar down? God, that was dumb. But guess what? Now it's reopened because they realize like it's a community and it's socializing and it makes it better. Especially like you're a young adult. Lots of times you went to the game with your friends just to kind of socialize. it was great. Yeah, you'd watch the game. You didn't like. Sometimes you had to go home and watch the replay, the highlights, find out exactly what happened. But that's all right. So there's ways to do things, and I do think the Elks have a lot of arrows going in the right direction right now. And it's CFL, same thing. They're growing, but CFL is like every other league. There's money. You want players want to get more money. Because remember, people used to always, players, I make more than CFL players. And used to mock them. So don't complain about what their salary is now if you're someone who used to make fun of them, which I've never understood. I never really get the whole mock anybody for what their occupation is. How do you know how much money a person makes? Like, honestly, people love to guess, but you don't know. And money isn't how I would ever associate value on a person at all. So Gregor, is it Mondays and Wednesdays? Well, my understanding is they will have Monday and Wednesday nights on Crave. I know Crave now, well, this new deal has them with Amazon Prime, so not Crave. Amazon Prime will have the Wednesday games. They've added that. There's nothing in there that suggests they're not having Monday. So I'm just going to guess they have both now. But in this new press release, it stated they have Wednesday. Now, maybe they're only having Wednesday. I'll send out a text and get some confirmation from someone on that. But the press release today was saying only the Wednesday games. Also, playoff games in Canada, but it didn't say for Canadian teams. I'd be stunned if it's a Canadian team. Like that is, are you telling me you're going to give up Toronto, Edmonton, Vancouver, Calgary, Ottawa, Montreal, Winnipeg games? If you're a Sportsnet, you're going to give those up? I can't see how. Like, how would you? That doesn't make any sense to me. So it's an odd one. Take a quick break. We'll return 833-401-1440. Jake Lanfordman will join us. We got more of your texts coming in. 833-401-1440. Hey guys, we used to go lots when I was 18, 19. Games were fun, but it was also about the partying and socializing. My mom was a huge CFL fan. She'd always ask me the score next morning, knowing full well the score from Matt. Well, you know what? And that's the thing. It was great. Just go there. You have socializing is a big reason why a lot of people like sports. You get together with a group of your friends. Right? Like, now, some of you have watch parties for certain TV shows, yes. But a lot of you like to kind of watch a show by yourself. Some of you don't even want to watch with your partner. You're like, can I watch this show by myself? But sports is different. Not everybody, but lots of people like to watch in a big group. Cheering's louder. It's a little bit more exciting. People like it. Right? It is, it's good. We'll return on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
The Brick's 55th birthday bash continues with big savings store-wide. Save on furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics. Plus, take 55 months to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses, or 36 months on appliances and electronics on approved credit. Find up to 30% off bedroom packages, up to 40% off select mattresses, and don't forget, you could be one of 275 winners with over $155,000 in prizes to be won. Hurry in, the birthday bash ends July 29th at the Brick. Saving you more.
Yeah, it's me again. And if you're sidelined with a sports injury, you already know nothing's more frustrating than being told to just rest. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we get athletes moving sooner with our zero gravity treadmills. You can run, train, and rebuild strength with up to 80% less body weight, so your injury heals while your confidence comes roaring back. When your sports injury's yelling, whisper back. LeadingEdgePhysio.com, because life shouldn't hurt.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
What if you could hire motivated, safety-trained youth with no risk and funding to support you? At Careers the Next Generation, we make hiring easy with funded internships across Alberta in trades, IT, forestry, and more. Interns are WCB covered, complete high school accredited safety trained, and arrive ready to contribute from day one. With 42% of RAP students completing their apprenticeship by age 22, you get skilled workers faster. Spots are filling up. Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
Kickoff is coming August 1st. Elks, Rough Riders at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. The prehistoric party is back, presented by Purelator Tackle Hunger. Experience family-friendly fun all game long with the dinosaur-themed contest. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
We have Jake. Do we have Jake? 2:44, whirling through Tuesday afternoon. We'll update you as more information comes in on the potential tornado watch for central Alberta later on this evening. In the August can't come here enough. Hopefully we get out of July and August will be nicer weather, because it has been it's been a long, wet July with lots of damage for lots of people, flooding and other things. So kind of hunker down tonight if you're in that area between Edmonton and Edson region is what they have announced. So anywhere in there, that's a pretty big region. So be safe if you can. And maybe it's good news for our next guest as we get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Spruce Grove Saints. And just in time for hockey season, got Saints camp August 24th to the 28th. Final tune-up for U9, U11, U13, U15 players. Go to sgsaints.ca and you can sign up there. As we are joined once again by the manager of the Edmonton Riverhawks. Their home regular season is finished. They will wrap up the rest of July and August on the road, starting tonight in Kamloops. Jake Lamberman joins us. Jake, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, I appreciate it. Very rare. I think it's the first time ever you guys are finishing with 9 games straight on the road. So, it starts tonight and then you play basically 9 straight days. So when you got 9 straight with no days off and you're late in the season, how much more managing and pitch counting and everything goes into this?
Yeah, it can be a challenge, and it's something that starts with tonight, and it'll go day to day. I mean, we're trying to win baseball games every single day and move on to the next day after we get done with this one. But yeah, I mean, towards the end, game 6, 7, 8, 9, it's going to be, hey, every man kind of up to the challenge, up to the task, and it's going to take everybody and picking each other up for sure. So we've done this before, 9 games a couple years ago on the road, but it was to begin the season.
Yes.
So going into a playoff push here, it's definitely a challenge, but we're up for it.
So yeah, let's look at the playoff push, because you're currently at 25-20 overall. You're tied with Kelowna, who you face the next 3 games, and you guys are tied for 3rd, right? You need to just finish in the top 4 in the West to make the playoffs, correct?
Yeah. So when you talk, the back half, Wenatchee's currently winning the back half. We are 2.5 games behind Wenatchee. They clinched the front half, so if they also win the back half, hopefully we can push to catch them. Then it just goes to the next 3 overall teams.
Okay.
So if that was today, it would be Kelowna, Bellingham, and ourselves.
Yes.
But yeah, in the overall, if you just keep winning baseball games, it doesn't really matter who clinches the back necessarily, as long as you're in those top 4.
Okay. So, but you're still obviously chasing to get the back, because if you win the back, then you're automatically guaranteed second. Is that correct?
That's correct. And then you're hosting that first series instead of playing on the road.
Right, which would obviously be a huge advantage. So, that's something that you like. Now, Kelowna, who you're taking on the trip, you got Kamloops. Kelowna struggled a little bit. Kamloops has been playing all right. What can you tell us about tonight's opponent?
Yeah, so we're in Kamloops tonight. We have them the next 3 days. We just came off that home set against them. That was our first time playing them, and they got the better of us. They won the series. They're playing great baseball right now, and it's going to be hard for us to continue to try and stymie it and play good baseball to win a series. So the Kelowna set going into this last weekend, we were fortunate enough to sweep them and get our record tied at 25-20. So the boys played really well this weekend. It was awesome to see us take the steps in the right direction to make this push. And I mean, the next 6 games could very well solidify or hopefully help us get in the right direction to clinch.
Well, it kind of gets you in playoff mode, because Bellingham and Kelowna, their last 6 games, those are teams right now that are right in the playoff spot with you. So it's kind of going to be a little preview for the postseason. Jake, you mentioned it's all hands on deck. Everybody needs pitching. Who do you got going on the bump tonight?
Tonight's Jack Becker, a lefty that also pitched for us last summer and is back again this summer. So somebody we trust, we know is going to compete at his fullest for us. So we're excited to give him the ball. And like you said, like you're trying to win games every night for yourself, but you're also watching around the league. And Kelowna's in Wenatchee, I believe this 3-game set. So that's going to be a tough one for them too.
Well, yeah, you look at it, you're kind of in a weird way cheering for Kelowna, I guess, the odd night, just to gain some ground on Wenatchee down the stretch. Every year, you lose some players right after the draft. That happens usually. I know you lost some guys already. What you have now, is everybody you have with you today expected to be here through the end of the season?
We're losing 3 position players on this trip. 3 guys have to go prep and get back to school and prepare for it. That being Max Stagg, Cale Clark, and Gianluca Montanaro. So a couple sticks that are going to be challenging to replace here, but we have them for Stagg for 4 more games and Montanaro for 5 more, and then Cale Clark for 6. So we're looking all right for the next 2 series. We traveled 36 guys. We lose 3. We're picking up 1 more arm to get us at 34. So I really like where we are roster-wise with the depth we have. I've been in situations 2 years ago where we've been a lot more challenged with what we have left. So it's all obviously part of preparing for it and playing this league every year. And I think you look around to the other teams in the North that are pushing right now, and it is Greg Zahn's first year for Kelowna being the manager. And I know he's losing guys at an alarming rate, and I've been there before. So it's challenging. You got to learn the ebbs and flows of the WCL, but yeah.
So Jake, with that, you mentioned you're losing 3 position players. You got some guys. Who do you like to fill in those spots? You feel like it, because everybody sometimes just needs an opportunity. So who do you have as your next 3-man up when those guys leave?
Yeah, for sure. We're spoiled with 4 catchers that we really like right now. So when Montanaro leaves, we have Connor Kavnar, who came off a really good series in Port Angeles that last weekend before we got home and hit a grand slam, had a 2-home-run game. So in the outfield, Max Stagg, we have Cale Clark. We picked up an outfielder. His name's Justin Heffler. He hit a home run the other night at home. So I think we're in a good spot. Obviously, the guys got to compete at their fullest and to try and fill those spots. But I like what we have to come in.
Jake Lamperman joins us. So Jake, you talk about kind of, part of the managing is understanding just when you're losing guys and how early in advance, like, do you know at the start of the season when these guys last games, or does it vary throughout the season?
And that's what we've tried to really do a better job of in the last 2 years and get those dates, departure dates as soon as we can, so that we're prepared and equipped for it. And it does vary sometimes. Hey, injuries are going to come up and some dates are going to change. And the most challenging one is when players from junior colleges then commit to Division I schools and they haven't been at those schools yet because they're transferring into them. So, hey, maybe they need them another week and a half earlier to, get their introduction down and then get everything acquainted on campus. So that can be kind of one that comes out of nowhere. But I feel like this year we've done a good job of maintaining, and the guys have given us notice to kind of fill holes when we lose guys.
And when you recruit, now that you've been in the league, I think it helps when they look and say, okay, this guy knows the league. He's been here a long time. There's also the fact that, for another year, you guys, and you went up from, 131,000, I think, to 142,000 total fans this past season. That's got to be a pretty significant recruiting tool. When you look at your team now and the guys you've had, would 50%, 70%, do you have an idea or close percentage-wise on how many would return next year?
I think that range is usually between the 10 to 12 players. It's been 8 to 12 in the last 2 to 3 years. So
okay,
it can be challenging. We do have a lot of juniors that move to senior class going to back to school can't play in this league. You have to have college eligibility left to play in the WCL, just because it's a draft endorsed league by the MLB. But that being said, I know the NCAA Division I rules actually just changed where you can play 5 years of D1 baseball in a 5-year span. So they're trying to go away from red shirts or medical red shirts and promote the health of players to play in those 5 years to clean it up a little bit. So that can change things for next summer for guys that we expected to be seniors, but now have 2 years left because of the 5-and-5 rule. So there's a lot that goes into it, but we have the guys that, we obviously trust and want to come back. And unless the Cape Cod is calling, that's probably the best summer collegiate league in all of North America. That's one where guys aren't going to pass it up because it's a lot of draft prospects in there playing. I think the WCL is a top 3 league when it comes to competition and what every team in the league has to offer.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Well, Jake, continued success. We'll be watching closely and hope it ends to the point where you guys end up with some home playoff games here in August. I
appreciate it. Thank you.
There you go. And the playoff games would start the earliest on Friday, August 7th. So 7th and 8th, 9th potentially. And then you get into the 11th, and then the final would be on the 13th, depending on how it goes. So it's a quick run to the playoffs if you get into it, and away you go. Should be fun. So I hope the River, who are on the road tonight, Kamloops tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday. Then they're in Kelowna on Friday, Sunday, and Monday. Jeez, I'm in Kelowna. I might have to step into a game there, Cons. I always like to go to games in road stadiums sometimes, kind of see how it goes. So that could be fun. Might have to check that out this weekend. Always looking for something different to do. It's always nice. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We'll take a quick update with Connor Halley. We come back. We got David McCarthy. We're going to get to some, we'll hear from some members of the Elks, Austin Mack, Trey Ford, and more. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Here's a Conman Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. Not only do they have over 17,000 vehicles to choose from, but they give back and care a lot about the community. How about the fact they've donated $27 million to various charities in the communities they work? Let's go auto.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Blue Jays in action tonight, taking on the Nationals. 4:45 first pitch. We'll join it in progress following the Gregor Show at 6 o'clock on our AM feed. You've also got the Pirates and the Diamondbacks, Orioles, Tigers, Marlins host the Phillies, Royals in Minnesota, Cubbies get the Cards, Angels, Astros, Red Sox, Athletics. One final from earlier today, Reds falling to the Guardians 6-5 in Game 1 of their doubleheader. From the NFL, Eagles signing two-time Pro Bowl selection Jalen Carter to a 4-year contract extension worth $152 million, 106 of which is guaranteed, making him the highest paid defensive tackle in NFL history. And Draymond Green agreeing to return to the Golden State Warriors on a $27.7 million deal. He previously turned down a $27.6 million deal option earlier this summer. In the WNBA tonight, you've got the Tempo taking on the Lynx just after 6 o'clock. Storm hosts the Fever, Fire and Aces. Will the Liberty get the Sparks? And the Riverhawks season winding down there in Kamloops tonight. First pitch set for 7:35. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Dave McCarthy from Sirius XM NHL. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Your weekend hotspot is at On the Rocks.
Party with Edmonton's best bands every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And we got them all.
From the Barkells to Tallboy, Radioactive, Curves, the Brute Squad, Morningwood, Roxilla, Punch Buggy, and more.
Plus, the guy who keeps the party going every weekend. DJ Kenny K on the ones and twos, live.
Get ready to have a good time this weekend.
Your bar, your party. You're On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
Just Brab and 118th.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with Traco or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Everything is going to be okay. If you're feeling the weight of too much debt, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or a consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal will eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we've got your back.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged, and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to robertsonbodyworks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Nation Golf Tournament, Friday, August 28th, 2026 at Millwoods Golf Course. Golf, drinks, swag, food, and fun. Every swing supports Gregor's grads and helps graduates shine on graduation day. Sign up at nationexperiences.ca before it sells out.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
Just after 3 o'clock. How you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440, Sports 1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. The show is always brought to you by playalberta.ca, where today under the Jason Gregor Show, Osmoose, of course, we have one on the orders. You can go all year for now. A little rematch, Elks and Riders. We got Connor's picks today. Always, he always likes to make kind of a fun little long shot one. So has some, and nothing major, just a few base hits for guys, which obviously in the Jays offense, that can be a long shot. So we'll see. And so you can check it out. A little fun. Stay within your limits. PlayAlberta.ca. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Good news for the Elks that you look at it. Nick Anderson, limited now. He's not going to play, but he is able to practice coming off the hamstring injury. And it looks like, as long as everything goes forward, that he would play next week against Montreal, but not this. Now, Carter O'Donnell did not practice again. Him and his wife are still kind of waiting on baby watch, and they're hoping that he'll get on the field soon. And they're hoping, expecting him to be ready to go by Saturday, but obviously he's going to have to practice. Like day 3 tomorrow, that's probably the big day, I would think, if it needs to be there or not, just to kind of see, like, it was a little nicked up, see how he feels. Hope everything is okay on the family front, and we'll see him there. But Jacob Plamanen is the one guy who got a little nicked up in that game, and he's going to be questionable game time decision. It might come in as this, so they might have to make a little bit of a change on special teams for the green and gold. Now, speaking of the Elks, now this is a fair question as to what took so long, but legendary Elks coach Frank Pop Ivy is being inducted into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame in September. Posthumously, of course. Now, he became the head coach of Edmonton prior to the 1954 season. And, of course, he compiled a mark of 11-5 his first year. And across 4 seasons, his record was 50 wins and 14 losses. He's one of 3 head coaches with at least 10 victories in each season at the helm. And his 14 consecutive regular season wins from 54 to 55 is tied for the second longest streak in CFL history. So congratulations to Frank Pop Ivy. Jim Evanson also announced that he was going into the hall today to join Brandon Banks, Sean Millinson, Charleston Hughes, and Calvin Tiggle. All of them going in. Those are all guys like, Tiggle, I remember him from the Argos for many years. Charleston Hughes, obviously we had him on the show. He's a beast. Sean Millington played for the Elks for a bit, started in the league for a long time. Brandon Banks, electrifying returner and receiver for Hamilton. Evanson obviously will come in posthumously as well from Ottawa, and then Frank Pop Ivy. So those are going to be the 6 inductees into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame in September. Hey guys, Sportsnet went up $100 for the year, or $14 a month, and now they add this. Is there anything that fans could do to stop it? Well, I guess not buy it. That's really the only option I could think of at this point right now. So, if you're a fan of sports, you might look and say, okay, it's $350 for the year. It's like, what's that? $30 a month, give or take. All right. Just under. So 30, I guess, would be $360. So minus the $10. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's basically $30 a month. Right. So I know that if you have a ton of subscriptions, it all just adds up all the time. So I can understand the frustration when and it's the new landscape, and you know what? The billionaires and the millionaires, they're going to get their money somewhere, and they believe that the level of excitement from the fans is that they will pay for it, and maybe you will. Or some of you will be like, you know what? Maybe I won't watch all 84 games this year. It's very possible. You might not, and I totally can understand it. So. Hey, Gregor, sure, Brandon Douglas must have some college eligibility left. The Riverhawks will need a cleanup hitter when they start losing players. Oh, God. I can't wait till next summer, man. I can't wait. Hopefully, old Step and a Half has healed up well enough that he can get in the batter's box. And then we'll see if the delusion is delusion or accuracy. I know what my wager would be. I can tell you that right now. Like, could he make contact other than a foul ball? That'll be my question, Connor Halley. Do you think, like, if he gets, because I know he's like, oh yeah, I get 100 pitches. No. You get probably maybe 20 pitches, right? Base the player, or maybe just look like, you know what, 3 outs. However many pitches that'll be for your 3 outs. You get some balls, you get some strikes. Can you get on in 1 inning by batting 3 times against a Riverhawks pitcher? I'm still going no. Cons, I'm going no.
No, I mean, I'm with you. Obviously, he'll be a little rusty a year away from it all. He's back golfing, so you know.
I thought the other day I heard him talking about he played slow pitch again.
Oh, did he? Well, he tried. He went out. I don't know if he actually played though.
Oh yeah, he said he played an inning in the outfield.
I saw him go play in that world's longest futsal game. Did you see his leg brace? I think you should be playing tackle for the Houston Texans. There was a huge knee brace out there.
Well, I just wanted his legs to look a bit. Was he wearing pants over the brace?
No, it was shorts.
Yeah,
just kind of. I think he was playing keeper. The video I got was from Chris Sheets, and it was very blurry. Could have been Erling Haaland out there for the video quality, but no, he's
Sheets is not the most technically advanced human.
It was transferred through a few people. No, I'm with you. I mean, he's going to struggle. I think there's going to be some humble pie for him when he gets the heat.
Oh, dude, I can't wait for it, man. Can't wait for it. It'll be. I'll be looking forward to it for sure. So that's coming up. Hopefully next summer. It was actually supposed to happen this year, but then he got hurt. So that put a pause on it, and we'll see. Hey, Gregor, almost better at this point to just get the NHL Center Ice on your satellite package. Brett from Stoney. Well, yeah. You get the NHL Center Ice package. It gives you every game. Now, I don't know, because it doesn't give you, like, when I get the NHL Center Ice package, it doesn't give me any Oiler games because they're in my region. But I now, obviously, because of my nephew, I would watch games around the league. And for my job, I like to have it. So if there's a storyline going on and I want to watch it, like, there's certain games I love watching just as a fan of the NHL. All right, when Florida and Tampa play, I like to watch. All right, Florida, Ottawa, sign me up. I look at, this season, there's always a few games and a few teams you want to watch for. So, but it doesn't really help you if you're an Oiler fan to get the Center Ice package because those games will be blacked out anyway. You don't get them. So, and now you don't even get the road games. No, I've never seen an Oiler one. The other reason I like to do it is it's always good to hear some of the other broadcasts. You get to hear some tidbits of information on certain broadcasts. So I always find myself a few nights just kind of searching around different teams. There's always a storyline that's interesting to me as an NHL fan. So I like to watch it, check it all out. It's good. Got a few texts coming in, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, I heard earlier Low Tide and those guys mentioned they don't think that Mike Babcock will play Ike Howard enough. What are your thoughts? Why do you think that is? Well, if you look at it, he actually, in Toronto, his young guys played a ton, right? So if you look at Zach Hyman's rookie season, 2016-17, right? That's when he was. Now, he was a little bit older of a rookie at the time. He was 24. He had played 16 games a year before, but he's still a rookie by NHL standards. He was 24 years of age. And you know what? He kind of played third line minutes, but they also had on that team a rookie in Matthews, a rookie in Marner, and a rookie in Nylander, and also a rookie in Connor Brown. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the third year. Yeah, it was the third year for Morgan Riley. Like, they had a lot of young guys. So I don't know if I buy for certain that Babcock can't coach young players. If you're going to compare it to the Detroit team, well, sure, yeah, but Detroit didn't bring any young players. They didn't have it. Like, who do they have available in that you would look and say, oh, geez, I can't believe that he didn't play that guy. Like, look at the team that won in 2008. Like, who was their youngest player? that played any sort of like Justin Abdelkader got called up and played like 2 games as a 20-year-old. Right? Yuri Hudler was 23. He had 13 goals, 42 points. So what I got to double check. Yuri Hudler, that would have been his second full season in the NHL. So it wasn't a rookie, but he had played 76 games the year before with Babcock. Valtteri Filppula, he was on that team. That was his second full season as well. He was 23. So now those guys didn't play huge minutes, but they still played every game. Right? They were in the lineup, but Hudler played 81 and Filppula played 78. They had like 13 and 19 goals. So I don't really, and they're not superstar players. Right? Like they had Datsuk and Zetterberg. Like look at their top scorers that year. Right? Datsuk, Zetterberg up front. And then after that, like what's interesting about that Detroit team that won, you had 2 guys who scored, Datsuk and Zetterberg. Obviously, you had Nick Lidstrom on the back end. But you know, their third highest scoring forward, without looking it up, the 2008 Cup-winning Detroit Red Wings. In the regular season, who do you think was their third highest scoring forward on the team? Any guesses, Cons?
Forward.
Yes.
Jeez.
2008.
Like no one's coming to mind right now.
Former Edmonton Oiler.
Maltby?
Nope. Guess again.
Guess again.
Former owner. I'll give you one other guess.
Jeez, I don't know.
He's a former first-round pick. Not of the Oilers, but he came to Edmonton in a trade and played in Edmonton for a bit. Then he went to Detroit.
Where from?
Who did he come from?
Yeah.
Before you mean
who took him in the first round?
Oh, who took him in the first round? Chicago.
Is it McCammond?
No, Daniel Cleary.
Oh, yes. Should have known that one.
So Daniel Cleary. Now remember, this guy's almost out of the league a few years earlier. Now he's only 28. He had 42 points. Yuri Hudler, 23-year-old, 42 points. Holmstrom, Samuelson, 40 points. You know, Johan Franzen, 38. They had a lot of guys kind of mixed in there on points. Now I'm looking at time on ice for the forward group that year in Detroit. And I'm using Detroit because I think Edmonton, unlike the Toronto team that had a lot of rookies, Edmonton has veterans. But they played Zetterberg and Datsuk a lot. Then Franzen played 17 minutes. Holmstrom and Cleary played 17. Filppula, by the way, 23-year-old and only his second season, played 16:58. So, Yuri Hudler played 13 minutes, which if Howard plays 13 minutes, I wouldn't be stunned. So I don't actually really buy the notion that there's no chance Mike Babcock's going to play a young player. He had a boatload of veterans on that team. Pavel Datsuk, Henrik Zetterberg, Thomas Holmstrom, Mikhail Samuelson, Johan Franzen. They were all vets. Now that he played those guys, but he played his top 2 guys, Zetterberg and Datsuk, 22 and 21 minutes, which is kind of where I see Connor McDavid coming in around the 21-minute mark. I think people are like, I've seen some people talk about 20 minutes. Like, give me a break. McDavid ain't playing 20 minutes tonight. He doesn't need to. Henrik Zetterberg played 22 minutes a night the year they won the Cup.
Did you mention Helm played 18 games in the playoffs?
Darren Helm?
Yeah. He's 20.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
And then Filppula and Hudler both played 22 at 23. So
yeah. So no, I don't have that, massive of a concern to say that, well, there's like no chance. Yeah, like Darren Helm came up after playing in the minors basically the whole year. He played 7 games in the NHL. The year prior, that was his first year pro. The year prior, he had won with the Medicine Hat Tigers in 2007. Now, he was a checking guy, so a little bit different role, but still. So I wouldn't be so quick to buy into that, Howard's got no chance under Mike Babcock. I disagree. I look at the Oilers, and could Ike Howard play 13 minutes a night? Yeah, I think he could. I wouldn't be shocked by that. Right? Like he's going to get a little bit of second line power play time if he's here. and 5-on-5 time. I don't see him on the penalty kill, which is fine. So I'm not. If you look at McDavid and Draisaitl, and if they're going to commit to being, well, Draisaitl he doesn't even need to commit. Draisaitl just has to play like he did in 2025 when he finished 6th in Selke. He can do it. Right? Connor McDavid, like, another thing I don't buy into is this whole fallacy that his point total is going to have to drop a lot because he wants to be better defensively. I would argue if he's better defensively, his points are actually going to go up because his 5-on-5 point totals last year were not very good. So if he's going to have the puck more because he's defending better and not defending as much, that's going to lead to more opportunities offensively. And I use the Nathan McKinnon and Kucherov examples for people. Nathan McKinnon played more minutes than McDavid 5-on-5. They also outscored him 5-on-5. They also outscored the opposition 100-42. So you can score more by playing better defensively. It doesn't mean if you're good defensively that you have to sacrifice. It means you might have to stop cheating in some areas of the ice, sure. But that shouldn't limit your offense. I don't get it at all. So I think a lot of it's going to be like Ike Howard. You don't just gift him an opportunity. If he comes in and shows you that he's not like at least somewhat responsible defensively and can't keep up to the play or isn't in good shape, well, then no, he's not going to be on the team. But if he comes into camp and is in great shape, which I assume he would be, like if you're Isaac Howard, man, this summer, every day you get up should be like, this is awesome. I'm a big believer in visual motivation. I know, like, when I quit working in the oil field, I took pictures my last week of the job. And when I went to school, I put the pictures up in where I studied. Just say, you know what? I don't want to go back there. And I respect the oil field a ton, but it wasn't for me. I didn't want to go back there. And so if I didn't put in the work, I might have had to go back there. So if you're Ike Howard, man, you can have lots of visual cues to be the motivator of, hey, where do you want to be this year? I want to be a regular NHLer. He got a taste last year. He's actually not even considered a rookie because he played in 29 NHL games last year. So he's not a rookie now. Doesn't qualify. We can debate, and I would look at it like it's his first full NHL season, sure. But he won't be a rookie. And he has a pro season of hockey underneath his belt. And Mike Babcock has shown that others will, if you show the coach that you can compete and be smart, and Ike Howard didn't get to the NHL without any brains. Pretty heady player. I think he'll be fine. I'm very intrigued to see him because he possesses something the Oilers don't have a ton of on the wing, the natural shooter. Zach Hyman isn't a natural shooter. Nugent Hopkins has never been a big scorer. Right? Podkolzin can really shoot the puck. Like, and there's another guy. Like, look at the season he took last year. Could he be a 25 goal scorer this year? I don't know. Maybe. They got potential there. I like Matt Savoy's shot. Look in the second half. He really started to shoot the puck more. And then Ike Howard. Like, those could be your top four wingers. Nugent Hopkins plays with Kapanen maybe on your third line. So I'm not ready to write off Ike Howard at all to think that it's a lock that Babcock isn't going to play him. I actually think he's going to give him every opportunity to play. Quick break. We'll return to Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Day or night, tasting just right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicks things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
The Lawnmower Hospital. If you've got a lot of grass to cut, or just a little, the Lawnmower Hospital in Toro make it a breeze. Handle your yard with an easy maneuvering personal pace Toro walk-behind mower. For commercial and acreage use, hop on a Toro MyRide Zero Turn with the comfort and performance you deserve. Plus, 0% financing available for up to 36 months. See Toro, the top name in turf, now at lawnmowerhosp.com. The Lawnmower Hospital.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. visioncu.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people that know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.25 rolling through Tuesday afternoon. How you doing, Jason Gregor? Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440. Sports 1440.ca, always brought to you by good friends at PlayAlberta.ca, where tonight, Lotto Max, $10 million. Hey, then you can get all the subscriptions for the NHL. It's not that expensive, but they're adding up. Get your tickets tonight, PlayAlberta.ca. Also, 10 prizes of $100,000. PlayAlberta.ca. As it's time now to go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. You can get a $1 drink, the small fountain drink or small iced coffee for only $1. And if you add the McDonald's app to your phone, you can get $1 cones through the McDonald's app all summer long at McDonald's. As Dave A. McCarthy from Sirius XM joins us once again. Davey, good afternoon. How you doing, my man?
Well, I'm doing all right. It's good in my part of Etobicoke. I see you're setting records for rainfall in your part of Edmonton, which is wild. So I hope everybody's doing all right.
Oh, yeah. We're on a tornado watch for later tonight now in the Edmonton and Edson area. So that's not ideal, Dave. It has been it's been a crazy summer here in the Edmonton area. So It's eerie because there was actually a really very serious tornado here way back in 1987. There's been one at Pine Lake. So sadly, Alberta's had a few, funny enough. They don't happen often, but still possible. So that'll be something for all of our listeners to hunker down. And according to Alberta Alert Emergency Services, between Edson and Edmonton, there's a tornado watch on. So, yeah.
Well, stay safe, everybody. That's
stay safe. Your hat, Davey, it wouldn't last very long.
No,
it would be blowing off. I don't know if you saw the videos of the Post Malone concert on Friday night here, but it's been a wild summer, man. It's been crazy there. Now you guys have had a lot of heat, though, have you? Not a lot of smoke.
You know what? No, so that's blown out of proportion. And I'm not calling you this, but see, that's one of those things that's taken on a view of fake news. Okay. So we had that literally for like 2 days. One day it was like orange. The next day it was like, yeah, it's fine out, but I could kind of smell something in the air. And then I think one day, like 2 days later, for like a few hours, was like, it kind of smells a little weird, and that was it. So I'm sorry, like I'm not considering that weeks of smoke where you can't even go out. It was like it was a day and a bit. So no, it was no good. Let's put it this way: the folks dealing up in northern Canada who are going through that right now, like holy cow, that is not a joke at all. Very serious. But for us to sit here in my part of Etobicoke and complain, I will not be doing that because they have far more serious things to deal with. That's for sure.
Yeah, fair point. Few things around the NHL, Dave, since we spoke last. The Robertson saga finally comes to an end, and they get a deal. It's a 1-year deal, and maybe it's just kicking the can down the road. They do have, Sagan coming off the books. There's also an extra $9 million in cap space next year. So something tells me there's a very good possibility this could turn into a long-term deal next year for him and the Dallas Stars. But here we are, Dave. It's July 28th, and there's still no GM in Detroit. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, look, I'm not surprised because, like I think we talked about a couple of weeks ago, I do want to see them talk to a number of candidates, and I think where they're at right now in Detroit is they have to be careful with the type of people that they bring on, and I think that's coming from ownership, largely because if you bring on a name brand guy that would command, $4 or $5 million as a president, you bring on a GM, and with where the cap is going in terms of player salaries, we have to keep in mind there's going to be some teams that are just not going to be willing to spend to the cap the way we've become accustomed to teams spending to the cap when the cap's been like 82, 86, 87 million dollars. If the cap's 115, 120, what I'm hearing is that there's a lot of owners that are thinking, okay, well, if that's going to be the case and we're not going to win, and you want to bring on a president for $5 million, no, we can lose for far less than that. And so I think what they're looking for in Detroit right now is somebody with some degree of credibility. But Detroit is not a major market team. Like, they do watch their dollars and cents to an extent. And like I said, I think that team is years away from being competitive. I would advocate just stripping it down, selling off the parts that you have, like a Lucas Raymond, like a Moritz Seider, who we have to get out of the business of thinking of these guys as young players. Like they're in their prime right now. So they're still young-ish, yes, but they're not 20 years old anymore. Like they're into their mid-20s. And so you have to extrapolate and say, well, if it's going to take us another 4 or 5 years to try to turn this around, then what? So, like, is there more value moving those along now? I would advocate that the answer to that question is yes. So I still think they're years away, and I think ownership is looking at it and saying, what the hell am I going to bring in a president, pay him $5 million, and a GM, pay him $2 million, and then lose for 8 years? We can lose for far less. But the point is, when you bring someone in with credibility, do they put a plan in place that leads you to a better place quicker? Or do you try and go on the cheap and then you end up wasting more time anyway? And I think that's what they're going through right now in Detroit. So, it was interesting to hear some reports that Anthony Mantha looked like he had a deal in Detroit, and then Steve Yzerman was on the outs, and then that deal kind of fell apart. Saw some reporting on that. I guess that shows you what kind of advisory position Steve Yzerman retains right now. Not very much, apparently.
Yeah, which is what I said from the get-go, Dave.
Yeah, exactly.
It was the polite way of saying, hey, this legend for our team, he's going to get paid anyway, so he'll be an advisor. So he saves face, we save face.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm not surprised, but they got to make the right hire. I would say that it would be important to bring somebody in with some degree of track record and credibility and put a plan in place. Like, I think Brendan Shanahan would be a good fit there. I guess that's the name I've been dancing around, to be honest with you. But Brendan isn't going to do it for, a few $100,000 and a few beers that I'm going to open once we get to the end of our hit here. He's going to cost $4 or $5 million, and I think that's what ownership is looking at right now and saying, I don't know if we really need to spend that to get where we're probably going to be anyway in the next 3 or 4 years.
Well, I do think once they have a GM in place, then the Dylan Larkin, either it's going to kiss and make up, and he'll have new leadership and he'll believe in it, or he's going to be like, no, I still want to go. But the new GM, you got to sign him. You've also going to have to sign Simon Edmondson.
Yeah.
And you'll start to have conversations maybe with Alex Brinkat's camp to see potentially what he's going to do. So there's lots on the mind here. And I do like the Dylan Larkin thing. I know that it's kind of slowed down now, Dave, but I won't be surprised we get into late August here in the NHL and there's, or early September, there's going to be some other moves here. I don't think we're done yet.
No.
The offseason NHL.
No, there always seems to be a run of moves in late August leading up to the Labor Day weekend or just after. Look, for the Dylan Larkin situation, they're in a real problem right now in Detroit. One, with the fact that his no trade list is at 4 teams right now.
Yeah,
that's a big problem. But having said that as well, I don't know if he can come back into that marketplace and be accepted. Like, I've talked to a lot of Detroit fans. I've gotten messages from a lot of Detroit fans who are not interested in seeing this guy back. And, is he in a point where I hate to use the word toxic in the marketplace, but I think a lot of people, and they've got to remember, they're beaten down in Detroit, man. Like it's been in Toronto 10 years ago, where it was just 10 years of just garbage play. And you get to the point as a fan where even the guys that are kind of good, you just can't stand the sight of anymore. And then when he comes out and says, I want out, and then it's only 4 teams, and I don't know how he comes back in. So, I think they've got to find a way to move him, because I just don't see it being a fit anymore, quite honestly, from a ticket sales standpoint. People are pissed off.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That is very fair. So, but hey, he at $8.7 million and the type of player he is, he's huge value to a team.
Yeah.
Detroit should be able to get something in return. And if not, then I'd hold on to him until if he really wants to get out of Detroit, then he's going to have to expand his trade list. That's just a fact. So we'll see.
So then you could bring him back. The market boos him constantly. And then you shame him into expanding his no trade list once the season starts. You could do that.
Yeah.
Man, that's such a bad look from a customer. It's just, you don't want to get into that as a team that's been so bad for so long. It's just an ugly, ugly look for a franchise that was once one of the signposts in the league. I do not envy whoever it is ends up with the GM's job in Detroit. I got to tell you that much.
Yeah, no, that is fair. Dave A. McCarthy joined us. We know that Quinn Hughes is meeting with Bill Guerin. What do you make of a Quinn Hughes situation? He's in the final year of his deal. He's making $7.85 million. they have the Kaprizov contract that kicked in this year. It's he's making 17. Boldy's still a steal at $7 million for the next 3 years. Eriksson Ek has 2 years left. Jared Spurgeon's 36. Now his $7.5 million. This will be his final year of his deal, so that will free up some money. Jonas Brodin, he'll be 33, but you don't want to get rid of all your D-men. I just where do you think Hughes's number is going to be?
I think it's going to be high. I really do.
Higher than Kaprizov?
I
17?
wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised because, look, Kaprizov didn't sign that via a hostile offer sheet or anything like that. That was just a good faith negotiation, and that's what the number ended up at. And Kaprizov's been a very good player in this league. I think you make the argument Quinn Hughes been a better player in this league. I really do. He is that good, Quinn Hughes. And from what I understand about the Hugheses, I just don't perceive them as being really excited to give anybody a significant discount. I get the impression that they're looking to be paid commensurate, if not more so, than where the market should be. Like trend-setting type contracts. So I don't see him coming in at like 14. $3 million less than Kirill on a long-term deal. Not a chance with where the cap is projected to go over the span of the next 6 or 7 years. So if he's signing a long-term deal, I see that number absolutely at 17, if not higher.
Okay. Interesting. You were at the Hyman golf tournament, so we appreciate you sending us those clips. I know a lot of times there's like a short interview and then there's lots of conversation afterwards. Yeah. Lots of people were asking about, Mike Babcock and young players. And now Toronto wasn't a great team that year, but he had a lot of young guys and played them. I went back to his Detroit team when they won, and he had young guys, 22, Hurdler and Philip. Heck, Darren Helm was a rookie, played 7 NHL games, played pretty much every game in the playoffs. So, and played like 12 minutes a night. So I think a guy like Ike Howard, if he can play, he'll play. I don't think the coach is that opposed to young players. But, after talking, to Hyman and those other guys and other people, how do you foresee this going in Edmonton? Like, I assume Babcock's going to be on his best behavior to start. Do you think it lasts?
Well, what I can tell you is I think the players are ready for a guy like Mike Babcock. And the fact that it came from like the core of the core, right? The top guys. It was McDavid, it was Draisaitl, it was Hyman. All saying that it was time for a guy like Mike Babcock. And I thought, here's a quote that I thought was really, really telling. And it goes to speak to my belief of where Connor McDavid was at with the lack of experience in coaching in Edmonton. Over the last few months, I had talked to a number of people, and I had sort of started to garner that idea that this is where he was at. And then he came out and he said this on Monday. He said, where our group's at, quote, where our group's at, what we're looking for, it's the perfect fit. He's not going to need to come in and find who he is as a coach or find himself in certain situations. He knows what he's about as a coach. It's our job as players to be ready to go. And when you look back at what Connor said late in the year about, look, we all have to be better. Coaching needs to be better. That was pretty telling, right? So I think what Connor is saying is that he wants a coach who, when a certain circumstance arises, knows what I'm going to do, knows what my approach is going to be, not how should we do this here, how should we feel this out there. He wants definitive instruction. And one thing you can say about Mike Babcock, he believes in Mike Babcock. And so there will be no dithering on the bench. It may not be the right approach. It may not be, right? Because nobody's perfect. And like anybody, Mike Babcock has made mistakes. but there will be no inability to get to the approach that he thinks is best quickly. And that's what I got out of Connor McDavid, what I had heard, and he said it out loud. And so I think he wants that. And if that comes from Connor, and if that comes from Leon Draisaitl, and if that comes from Zach Hyman, who said he had nothing but good experiences with Mike as a young player, obviously, why wouldn't he? Loved everything about Zach Hyman. But why did he like Zach Hyman? As Mike would say back in Toronto, and I'll do the impression right now, I didn't have to hook booster cables up to his butt every day in the morning. Came in, worked in the gym every day. That's the type of guy that he wants, right? Like, and so, as long as you got a guy that's pretty good. Eh? That's willing.
It wasn't bad.
Thank you. That's willing to do that, and willing to push himself. You'll have no problem with Mike Babcock, and so I don't foresee any of the core right now having a problem in short order with Mike Babcock, because what I got from the three of those guys yesterday is that they've grown up, they've recognized that their time is short, and maybe 4 or 5 or 6 years ago, you weren't interested in hearing the things that he wanted to say. They're interested in hearing it now because they know that they have not been good enough and that their time is running out as a group and they desperately want to win together. That is something else that I got off all three of those guys. It's not just about winning, it's about winning together with this group. And that's why Connor and Leon expressed disappointment that Darnell Nurse was moved along. They wanted to win with that group. You don't win, changes happen. That's the business. But this group wants to win. They want to win together, and they're ready to be told from somebody how they think they should approach it. Whether that's right or not, that's why we play the games. But I think they're at that point and they're ready, and so I don't think it'll be an issue.
Okay. I'm very curious to see, how Babcock responds to, because I will say this. The two superstars had a big say in who their line mates were at times. And when people get upset about line changing all the time, you are mistaken if you don't think the two leaders had a say in who that was. So I'll be curious if that continues or if the coach says, I'll decide the lines. For sure. Davey, as always, man, we appreciate your time. Have yourself a wonderful Tuesday, and we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, buddy. See you then.
There you go. That's Dave A. McCarthy from Sirius XM. Quick break. We'll return on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 air conditioning install company for lovers, because it's been a while since you kissed her tender lips or felt his warm embrace, because it's too hot for love. But you can rekindle that fire with AC from Legacy, with no payments and no interest for 1 year. Your legacy of love will grow stronger, because with AC from Legacy, it's never too hot for love.
Your weekend hotspot is at On the Rocks.
Party with Edmonton's best bands every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And we got them all.
From the Varkels to Tallboy, Radioactive, Curves, The Brute Squad, Morningwood, Roxilla, Punch Buggy, and more.
Plus, the guy who keeps the party going every weekend. DJ Kenny K on the ones and twos, live.
Get ready to have a good time this weekend.
Your bar, your party. You're On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
Jeff Brab and 118th.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call-solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option.
Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
We just dropped a massive payload at NISQ 4. It's time to unload some deals at the Truckload of Savings event. If you've been waiting to upgrade, we've backed up the savings with unbeatable offers on our toughest Fords. Right now, haul away exactly what you need and take advantage of massive price drops across our entire lineup, including the legendary Ford F-150 for the job site or the weekend getaway. Shop the Truckload of Savings at nisq4.ca. Nisq Ford, above expectations.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL, helping you finish your electrical project. Is their goal from pot lights to electrical panels? The gear you need is at ul.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. ul.ca, your partners in power.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
.340, welcome back. Jason Gregor, 348, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger with you, Sports 1440, Sports 1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks as always for listening and watching the show. We very much appreciate it. As always, time now to get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Construction. Great company to work for if you are looking for an opportunity, because guess what? They are hiring right now. Go to Indeed.com and look up what they're looking for. Construction laborer, backhoe operator, hydrovac operator, a locator, equipment operator, and more. Lots of opportunities. All-Star Construction at Indeed.com. So we got loads of stats to get to today. So first of all, it's kind of been a little bit like the curse has been broken in sports. So think about it. First, it was Indiana football. After decades of futility, they win. Next, it was Arsenal, who won the first Premier League crown in 22 years. Then you had the Knicks ending their 53-year NBA title drought. And now it's Mayo breaking a 75-year curse to win the All-Ireland title in Gaelic football. So they won it back in 1951, and there was a talk about that they upset a priest when they did so, so that resulted in a curse being placed on the team. They had lost 11 consecutive finals. Like, what are the odds of that? Like, I get if, you haven't won in them, but imagine getting to the championship 11 times and never winning. And you should have seen I watched it online, man. There was fans breaking down in tears. Announcers were losing their marbles. But what's unique about Gaelic football is that it's 100% amateur, right? Because the players compete for pride rather than pay. Now, the funds generated from ticket sales, and there's a lot. There was 82,300 fans at Sunday's match. The money from the ticket sales are directly reinvested in local clubs across the country. And many of them are kind of like considered pillars, but that's wild. right? There's no owner making tons of money. You are playing for like it is huge. Think about that for a second. It's just different, and it's kind of in there. But I don't know if you saw it. There's lots of people talking about this. Like, this is a big deal in Ireland. So there's a lot of people from college football to Premier Soccer to the NBA and now to Gaelic football, where the drought is over. Now, these are interesting stats. It's not necessarily stats yet, but it's almost like we could be seeing the Ted Lindsay of college athletics. There's a group of Stanford football players are establishing the first ever chapter of the College Football Players Association in a move intended to create a foundation for eventual unionization and collective bargaining. Wow. So now they're in their 5th year of CFBPA's existence. Stanford became the first school to reach the membership threshold of players necessary to elect representatives. Now, there's a long, long road ahead, but this is massive news and really could change. You know, like a lot of people have argued, oh, college football is pro. You know, these schools are making lots, but what would happen with this, right? How, like, you look at already that people, how they're changing these institutions and, you know, going to school and the cost of it and everything else. Like, this could have huge ripple effects overall in the NCAA. Specifically, you know, because if you get one, they're all going to follow. That's just a fact. Cons, how long do you think it would take to make it happen?
I think it would be a slow burn here. I think these things would gradually move slow. I mean, it makes sense, right? With all the money being thrown around there and the NILs, it would make sense to have that something to give these guys support and help them. But I'm going to say 15, 20 years. Like, I think it'll take
that long?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a slow process.
I bet it goes much quicker than that.
I think there might be some pushback as well.
Well, I'm sure there's
like
going to be
NCAA's. They're not going to want this, right?
No, they're not going to want it at all. Well, there's already, you know, there's been some laws they're trying to pass different things there. So, you know, the government's going to have a big say, make no mistake. But yes, there'll be some significant undercurrent rippling effects from this. Now, stats in the CFL. The Elks, here it is on July 28th. Happy birthday, by the way, to my nephew Noah. Happy champagne birthday today. Good for you. The Elks are in first place in the West. They're tied for first place in the league. They're actually in first place in the league because they own the tiebreaker against Montreal. And the stat to me that's the most wild is Vernon Adams Jr. broke the CFL record for most touchdowns without an interception to start the season. He's got 20. He's got a stretch of 21 going back to last year without an interception. So you look at the other guys. So first of all, he's thrown the most touchdown passes at 20. Chad Kelly's next with 17. He has 9 picks. Now that's crazy. But Trevor Harris, 16 touchdowns, 5 picks. Cody Fajardo, 13 touchdowns, 4 picks. Davis Alexander has 11 TDs and 1 interception. So he would be the closest as far as interceptions go, but he basically has just over half of the touchdowns. Like, it has been a phenomenal year. So if you were looking at stats, how is Adam Vernon Jr. not the leader in the MOP right now? Hey, Alexander's had a fantastic year. Don't get me wrong. He's thrown for 400 more yards than 9 more touchdowns and no interceptions. Right? Like, the difference is Montreal just throws the ball more. Right? He's attempted 245 passes. Vernon Adams has attempted 209. Now, Vernon doesn't complete as many passes either, 65% to 71, so that's part of it. But I'm telling you, that guy has money on TD passes right now. I don't even know, Connor, maybe you can look it up. What's the NFL record for most touchdowns without a pick to start a season? You know what it is in the NFL? I'd be curious. So, like, I thought Aaron Rodgers had one. Was he the guy? Maybe I'm thinking close to 30 or something. I could be wrong on that, but we'll see. Either way, it's a stunning number early on and something to watch for as Calgary is into Hamilton this weekend.
20.
It's 20 as well.
Peyton Manning. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
2013.
2013. So Vernon Adams could hold the North American record.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay. Interesting to know.
Before that, Milt Plum threw 16 in 1960.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Not Brady, no one else, eh?
Yeah.
Like that just show like it's hard to throw interceptions hard to throw touchdowns without ever throwing an interception. It's just difficult to do. So don't sleep in a season Vernon Adams has had it. That's unreal. I'd be curious to know, like, do you know what Manning's how many pass attempts he had when he had the 20 touchdowns? Does it show what his numbers were?
I'll have to dig in.
Yeah, dig into that. I'd be kind of curious. Anyway, for the first time this year, Justin Rankin heads into a week where he's not the leading rusher in the CFL. It's Dedrick Mills. Dedrick Mills has 584 yards. Justin Rankin has 561. Brady Oliveira is at 551. And Travis Dees from Montreal is at 538. So you got 4 rushers within 46 yards of one another. So it's going to be quite the race. Now, Rankin still leads the league in rushing touchdowns with 6 so far. If you look at the receiving, the Elks got off to a slow start, but you're starting to see like Austin Mack is now up to 4th on receiving yards with 579, but well behind Tyson Philpott in Montreal. Is absolutely killing it. He's still averaging over 100 yards a game. He's got 839 through 7 games. Schaefer Baker, who you saw for the Riders, he has 656. Tyler Snead from Montreal has 620, and then Austin Mack is 4th, and Keyshawn Johnson 5th. So 3 of the top 5. Well, actually, the top 5 receivers for the Elks are going to face the 2nd and 5th leading receivers this weekend, and then next weekend they face the 1st and 3rd leading receivers. So the DBs are going to have 2 pretty busy weeks coming up in the CFL. That's our stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Constructions.
198, Gregor. Pass attempts.
198 pass attempts.
It's in 5 games.
He had 20 touchdowns in 5 games?
Week 1, he threw 7 against the Ravens, 2 against the Giants, and 3 4-4.
Holy cow.
Now, the record not to start the season is Matthew Stafford with 28 consecutive touchdowns without an interception. Brady at 27.
Okay, so he's got a little bit of ways to go there, right? And I'd be curious spread out over how many games, but that's still amazing that Peyton had 20. He was at 2013. Somebody out there would have had him in their fantasy league, killing it. Could you imagine week 1 in fantasy and your quarterback throws 7 touchdowns? Come on now. How many passing yards do you have that game? That's got to have over 400, I would think.
462.
Oh, there you go. Pretty good guess.
What do you think the score was in that game?
So let's say 49, probably at least 1 rushing touch, 56, 62 to 14.
49-27. The Broncos rushed for 65 yards.
So all he did was score 7 touchdowns. No field goals, no rushing touchdowns. It was all passing.
And 35 points came in the second half. Yeah, they were down 17-14 at halftime. And Peyton came to life.
Okay. Well, there you go. Let's take a quick break. Coming up, we got the round table with Declan, Connor, and myself. But first, let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good. For professional property services you can feel good about, get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Hire Good. Stable jobs create stable lives at hiregood.ca.
This is a sports 1440 update.
Blue Jays back in action today, taking on the Nationals at 4:45. We'll join that game in progress following the Jason Gregor Show, 6 o'clock on our AM feed. Elsewhere, Pirates and Diamondbacks, the Orioles in Detroit. Rays get the Rangers. It is game 2 of the Guardians and Reds. Cleveland winning game 1, 6-5. Yankees get the White Sox. Angels host the Astros. Red Sox heading to Sacramento. Padres, Rockies, Brewers, Giants, with the Dodgers hosting the Mariners at 8 o'clock to wrap up the evening. In the NFL, a couple big deals. The Eagles signing 2-time Pro Bowl selection Jalen Carter to a 4-year extension worth $152 million, while the Browns locking up 5-time Pro Bowler Denzel Ward 2 years, $62.2 million, making him the highest paid DB in NFL history for the second time in his career. And in the association, Draymond Green back to the Golden State Warriors, 1 year, $27.7 million. The Riverhawks season winding down there in Kamloops tonight. First pitch set for 7:35. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll ask 5 questions, get to the roundtable, and talk some NFL with Ted Nguyen of The Athletic. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440.
Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks. Ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Kickoff is coming August 1st. Elks, Rough Riders at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. The prehistoric party is back, presented by Purelator Tackle Hunger. Experience family-friendly fun all game long with the
doing, Jason Gregor?
Get your tickets at
Gregor,
goelks.com/tickets.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Lux Windows was founded in 1969 with 5 people and a dream. 55 years later, our team of experts cares a whole lot about building and installing the best possible windows and doors. Because Lux is not just an Alberta-made product. We're one big Alberta-made family. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
Due to a landmark tobacco settlement, you may qualify for a significant payment if you smoked regularly before November 20th, 1998, and were diagnosed with lung cancer, throat cancer, emphysema, or COPD. An August 31st claim deadline is approaching for Quebec diagnoses prior to March 12th, 2012. Call 888-482-5852 or go to tobaccoclaimscanada.ca to learn more.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Papa John's is making Tuesdays better. Get 40% off pizzas at regular menu price when you enter promo code 40Tuesday at the start of each order at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show on Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports. It's Sports 1440, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Alberta's only all-in-one play experience. Casinos, sports, and lottery. One account, one wallet, one app. Here's Jason Gregor.
Just after 4 o'clock, how you doing, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. As always, we very much appreciate it. Busy Tuesday brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game. Of course, tonight, Lotto Max, $10 million and 10 prizes of $100,000. But also try out casino, sports, lottery, instants, and more. Check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials. We have Connor Halley's pick. Oh, I love it, buddy. Is George Springer going to get 2 hits tonight? No, he doesn't need 2. He just needs 2 total bases. Ernie Clement scores a run. And the Jays and Nats under 9 runs, which makes sense. Bieber's on the mound. He's been on fire lately. So might not be a lot of hits tonight. We'll see. Check it out, playalberta.ca. As time now for the round table brought to you by Action Electrical, where you can take action on your savings. They've evolved into the most diversified electrical contractor in the province. 53 years of experience. They'll help you out, save you a lot of money. ActionElectrical.net. As we go to Connor Halley to kick things off today.
All right. I know we're going to have Anthony LaPanta joining us on the show coming up a little bit later. He apologized to everyone for missing that first segment. But I'm just looking at kind of the reason we're bringing him on. And I know Bill Guerin is making that full court press to try to get Quinn Hughes back with the Minnesota Wild. I don't get it if you're Quinn Hughes, though. Like, why would you commit to this team right now? I mean, I do think they've tried to improve that roster. You don't have that number one center they need. The competition in that division is going to be absolutely fierce for the next few years here. We know the Avs and the Dallas Stars are there. I think Utah's a team on the rise. Winnipeg Jets should be stronger this year. It's an okay spot, but why would he not wait till free agency to really see what he's worth? Right now, you know, you've got Erik Karlsson, Rasmus Dahlin, Drew Doughty at $11 million, Bouchard there, Werenski, the next group of guys. With the cap going up each and every year here, I just don't get why he, in any situation, would make that decision to re-sign with the Minnesota Wild without going out and talking to other teams first, you know, potentially landing in a better spot, maybe throwing a little bit more money his way, better team. If it's me, I would say thanks, appreciate it, Bill. No. And maybe that leads to him being traded at the deadline because the Minnesota Wild don't want to risk losing him for nothing. But if I'm Quinn Hughes, there is no chance I am signing with the team before July 1st.
Wow, I really disagree. First of all, I mean, like, where's better? Like Colorado, you know, they have Cale Makar. Edmonton, yeah, they have Evan Bouchard. I'm not trying to do a direct player comparison. I'm just saying, and I know, like, how many better defense pairings do you have than Brock Faber? How many? Obviously, they got to figure out the 1C. How many better top end wingers do you have than Kirill Kaprizov? Like, I don't think Minnesota is necessarily in the best position in the NHL, but I think they're in as pretty much as good of anybody. And I just like. You're going to get paid. You're going to be competitive. I just don't see why risking leaving that for grass that could be greener is worth it for Quinn Hughes. Because I think everything's right. Like, he's going to get money, and he's got a great D partner in Brock Faber, and they're going to be a competitive team. They might not be the odds-on favorite, but they're a good team.
So you would commit to another team. Like, you're committing there without checking out what else is out there, knowing you still could go back to Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't think that would bode him well. Like, I think that's terrible optically for the organization. And I just think, like, why test out what's the benefit from testing out the water? I just don't like. But what's out there? Like Tampa?
Oh, maybe Tampa, the Islanders are a team on a rise. I mean,
the Islanders
power play time with Schaefer probably goes away, but. Why not
the
take a look?
Is a better situation than Minnesota?
Why commit to the Minnesota Wild when you're in a division where you're probably not going to win the next couple of years? They've tried to bring in players. It hasn't worked for them. Why commit without seeing what's out there? That's all I'm saying.
I look at this situation and, well, a lot of it comes down to, do you like where you're at? If he likes where he's at, looking elsewhere, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. I have to, sorry, but like the New York Islanders, that's like, that's
just you could have picked any other.
Hey guys, guess what? The Calgary Flames, maybe
a potential good partner on that roster.
Yeah, but Schaefer's going to want to get paid soon, and the Islanders, I don't think why they need Quinn Hughes, to be honest. Like, you don't need two superstars in the same D pair. You just don't, right? Like, I can. Pronger didn't play with Niedermayer, so. You'd
same team win a cup.
Sure, for a very short, brief time, yes. But they didn't play together as partners, is what I'm saying. So, and Schaefer, based on what he did last year, he doesn't need a jazzy, flashy partner for him to succeed. I look at Minnesota and how they're built, and I think Faber's a really good example that they work well. You know, Brody. Now Spurgeon's going to leave, so that's going to open up some time. I do think the concern for him is who's our defensive depth. That would be my question. But I just think when Jared Spurgeon leaves, like, you can't win with Hughes, Faber, and Spurgeon. They're all too small. You can't have three of your top four defensemen under 5'10". It ain't going to work, like, if you want to win the cup, at least in my opinion. So I could see them, him looking at that to make changes. But I think Minnesota's a hockey hotbed. The fans are great. He loves Bill Guerin. He knows where he is. He knows that Kaprizov and Boldy are under contract for up until 30, like, which is a long time. Like, you can't guarantee the next 8 years of your team. So I think that I think they're in a pretty good situation to go. So I'd actually be surprised if he doesn't sign during the year. I think it shows he's not committed to them, and then I might consider trading him.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but the Minnesota Wild in that position, right? You don't want to lose him for nothing. And I'm not saying he's not going to sign there. I mean, geez, you're going to turn your nose up on Quinn Hughes if he's like, I just want to check out the market. If he comes back, you're going to say no? I mean, I don't think that's great roster management either. But if I'm Quinn Hughes, I want to see what else is out there. Similar to what we've seen in Edmonton. We saw with Evander Kane, Kulak, right? Like, to me, to just commit, I don't know. It wouldn't be my first move here if I'm a player like Quinn Hughes.
All right, Jack.
Taking it over to the Eastern Conference, and we talked about this a little bit on Loadside Show when we went through our way too early playoff predictions. But looking in the Atlantic there, I don't think this is a crazy hot take on the hot take scale, but I think Toronto is going to be one of the bottom 4 teams in the Atlantic. And I actually think they may, I'm still wrestling with this take in my own brain. I think they may be closer to being the worst team in the Atlantic than they will for either one of the wild card spots in the East.
It wouldn't surprise me totally. Like, I guess I feel like Ottawa might take a step back this year. The Red Wings, we'll see what happens with Dylan Larkin. I kind of do expect the Leafs to have a better season. They had a lot go wrong last year. And then at what point did the team maybe kind of just check out? And, they lost 7 of their last games to kind of fall back into that lottery contention and try to improve their position there. I think I would disagree. I think this is going to be a team that's kind of.
Do you think they'll be a top 4 team?
No, but I still think they'll be
top 4 in the division.
In the division. I think they'll be fighting in the wild card race for the final spot. That's where I have them this year. I think they'll be above Ottawa and Detroit in the division. It'll be tough with Florida getting better as well. But I think they'll bounce back and have a stronger year next year.
So I look at Florida, Montreal, Tampa, Buffalo. I don't see how Toronto. Now, injuries are obviously the wild card here. We assume no significant injuries, like one of your top 2 best players, 3 best players gets hurt. Detroit, I think Detroit's, they don't look good at all for me.
It's tough.
Now we'll see what happens. That's today. If the Larkin trade's better than I think, well, then that might change some things. Ottawa loses Tkachuk, so that's a big loss. In some aspects, I think it's a win in other aspects. I heard the best description I got was he took up a lot of air in the room at times. So I think the room might be a little bit, less me at times for them. So in Ottawa, the thing about Ottawa was if they would have had even average goaltending last year, they'd have been dominant. So I don't know if Toronto's going to stay. I don't think they'll be 8th. But I'm not sold the Maple Leafs are just suddenly going to march right into the playoffs here. Like they got to go a significant way to get into the postseason, right? Like you look, they have to improve by 20 points to be a playoff team from last year. 20 points, that's a lot. I don't see them as a playoff team.
So, and I think that top 4 is so solid. Like in my opinion, the 4 teams you laid out: Montreal, Buffalo, Florida, and Tampa. Like I don't see those 4 teams going anywhere outside of injury. Then I look at Ottawa, like step back, but I still might like them more than I like Toronto. Detroit I would pick at the bottom of that division, and then Boston kind of, wild card right now as it stands. But no, I'm happy to hear it.
All right. So there you go. It's that's a round table. We do it at 4:00. 2 topics. Those 2 guys bring up one and we debate it. Get your thoughts. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey guys, Minnesota is one of the most overrated teams going into the next season. I think the center depth is a big issue. Many people think, and I think the departure of Zuccarello will be felt more than people realize. That one comes from John. Hey guys, I don't think Buffalo is a lock that everyone thinks. Maybe a hot take from Justin in Leduc. Well, you look at the Sabres, and hey, they had an unreal. Basically, they went from worst to first, right? Which is crazy to think. So you look at their team, now Josh Norris is a big wild card. When healthy, very good. When not, right? Benson, Tage, Tom. I really like Josh Doan. I think Josh Doan is coming on. They're going to need a little bit more, I think, from Peyton Krebs. What can Jack Quinn do? Defense, I really like their defense. Right, Darlene, Power, Samuelson. Louis Crevier, like they got huge D-men there, right? Like Owen Zellweger, I think, slides in on their third pair. So they'll miss some of the playmaking of Bowen Byram, but I think Louis Crevier fits in very well in their top four. So I like that. Their goaltending position really hasn't been any more solidified. Pekka Luukkonen, Alex Lyon. Now they have Colton Ellis. So they still have three. Who's going to play there? But I think it's fair to say like a lot did go well, but they also learn a lot. I think if Josh Norris stays relatively healthy, which is, could he play 65 games? I can't see him necessarily playing more than that. He is one of the more injury-prone players in the NHL, unfortunately. And it's shoulder injuries, it's hard to get over that, right? So that's the challenge for me, because Josh Norris he's actually only played over 65 games once. So, in the 21 season, he played all 56 out of 56. Then he played 66. Then he only played 8. Then he played 50. Then he played 56. And now 44. But when he's in, he's a pretty productive player. So, because if they lose him, now you still have Tate Thompson, but they lost Alex Tuck. Like, that's a pretty big void for Buffalo. Like, I think Buffalo's next year, and then we'll kind of see where it goes from there. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Let's take a quick break. When we return, we got Ted Nugent joining us and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
It's the hard jobs that take know-how, expertise, and the right experience. And that's why, time and time again, GS Construction gets the call when it comes to the hard jobs. Underground projects that are genuinely difficult, like deep installs, tough ground conditions, or tight urban sites. So remember, when it's a hard job, the list gets short, and GS Construction is on it. Want to tackle the hard jobs? We're looking for experienced pipe layers and topmen. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. The Gene Simmons Band, performing your favorite classic hits. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Tickets on sale now at silenticecenter.com. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
So you're dying from the heat, sweat dripping on your sheets. You want to cool it down, but your AC can't compete. So you fall upon your knees and cry out, oh please, I need a cooling breeze. Send me Legacy's AC Repairman. Legacy's AC Repairman. AC Repairman. Can't spell Legacy without AC.
Legacy Heating and Cooling's got a guy who's really good at fixing broken ACs. So if you got one, call Legacy. Okay, see you later.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
for all your welding supplies. Think AWS Welding. Located in Nisku, their readily stocked storefront carries a wide variety of welding glasses, cylinder rentals, plus welding rod, wire, and consumables. Same-day delivery is always available. And if they don't have it, AWS Welding will find it for you fast. Visit their online store today at awswelding.ca or give them a call or text at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. They make it happen.
Edmonton, did you know the Subaru Forester has earned an IIHS Top Safety Pick Award or higher for 20 years running? With advanced eyesight driver assist technology, 360-degree surround view monitor, driver-focused technology, and of course, the legendary Subaru symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, all working together. And it's available as a hybrid, delivering fuel efficiency as low as 6.8 liters per 100 kilometers. Visit your nearest Subaru dealer and test drive the Subaru Forester today. Welcome to Uncommon.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Crave presents Canada's hottest take on reality dating. Temptations Under the Sun, Cyprus.
This is not like any dating show I've ever seen.
Canada's most daring singles face seductive challenges and unexpected twists under the Mediterranean sun as they earn points and bet on what happens next to unlock key advantages.
Is it going to be PG-13? I don't think so.
Don't miss the wildest reality show this country has ever seen. Temptations Under the Sun, Cyprus, August 7th, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
So you're dying from the heat, sweat dripping on your sheets. You want to cool it down, but your AC can't compete. So you fall upon your knees and cry out, oh please, I need a cooling breeze. Send me Legacy's AC Repairman. Legacy's AC Repairman. AC Repairman. Can't spell Legacy without AC.
Legacy Heating and Cooling's got a guy who's really good at fixing broken ACs. So if you got one, call Legacy. Okay, see you later.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Love Pro Wrestling. It's the only place you'll find lumberjacks, short kings, madlands, and a high-flying goose. LPW 50, no regrets. Hits the Rec Room South Edmonton Comet Friday, July 31st. See LPW Grand Champion T.Y. Jackson face his toughest challenge. God's gift to wrestling, MRB. Whether it's a family outing, date night, or drinks with friends, check out Edmonton's wildest party at Love Pro Wrestling. Tickets available now at tixart.com/Love Wrestling.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Rent it, run it, get it serviced. Japa Equipment Rentals has you covered from their shop to your job site. Alberta's construction pros have counted on Japa for rentals and service since 1972. JapaMachinery.com.
The Jason Gregor Show on Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports. It's Sports 1440, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Alberta's only all-in-one play experience. Casinos, sports, and lottery. One account, one wallet, one app. Here's Jason Gregor.
.425 as we roll through a lovely Tuesday afternoon. Just remember, for those of you in the Edmonton to Edson region, which is obviously fairly east, Alberta advisory weather has put out for a tornado watch later this evening. So get prepared, kind of hunker down if you can. Could be a rough one. Again, So lots of rain, wind, potentially hail, everything else. So hopefully it doesn't arrive, but you never know. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, your one-stop shop, casino, sports, live dealer, lottery, instance, and more at PlayAlberta.ca. They also have tutorials on if you want to try parlays and other things. So stay within your limit at PlayAlberta.ca. Ted Wynn's just going to join us momentarily here as we get to our NFL report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home with the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Bundle it up with your furnace and save even more at legacyheating.ca. And we'll get to Ted in a second. Hey, boys, why does everyone assume Buffalo's a playoff? They're a worse team. Their defense is worse. Lost Tuck and reminder they're a terrible team for 15 years. Well, they weren't terrible last year, John. They made it to the playoffs and then won around. Now, I don't know if their defense is worse. I think it's different. They don't have Byram, but they got Zellweger. But Louis Crevier, do not sleep on Louis Crevier. 6'8", unreal penalty killer. So I'm not sold that their defense is worse. I do think they'll miss Tuck. That I agree with. That's a big loss. And who's going to fill it? Now, I think Josh Doan's a player that just with more opportunity is going to produce more. They obviously love Zach Benson, but I don't know. I think their forward depth, yes, that's a fair area to kind of wonder and question, where could they be? Now they think Gonza Helenis is going to be a regular next year for them, and they quite like him. So, we'll see. But they took a pretty big step last year, and right now though, like them over Toronto, like why would you like Toronto to improve? Buffalo had 31 more points than Toronto last year. Do we think Toronto's closed the gap that much? I don't know. That would that'd be a little bit much for me. Now, anyway, let's get to our NFL report. Senior writer for The Athletic, covers the NFL, Ted Wynn, joins us. Ted, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Ted, I'm great. Now, I do have to ask you, because I'm seeing how you, for our listeners who aren't watching, Nguyen, and it's Win. Can you explain it? Because I had to listen. I looked online. I'm like, I don't like butchering people's names. And I'm like, no, Ted Win. Now, can you explain how the NG is a W sound?
I mean, you got it right. It's Win. And, I think the Vietnamese language has the most complicated dialect system in all of languages. So don't feel bad about not totally understanding it. I don't totally understand it myself, but it is pronounced Win. An easy way to remember it is I host a podcast called the Just Win podcast, a radio podcast. Yeah. So, some people spell it with my last name instead of WIN.
Okay. All right. I like that now. Well, that's an unreal play on words. Like, hey, I know there's certain letters that are silent at times, but I love that the NG is Win. That's fantastic. So now let's start with the Raiders. How many wins are they going to get this year? Like, what do you look at this team? Can they be competitive in your eyes this year?
Number one, that was a great segue. And number two, I think this season is about just kind of reestablishing a baseline. And the Raiders have been a team that has been trying to band-aid over the situation for a long time, which is why they've been kind of futile. And, they had some years where they'll make the playoffs and get kicked out of the wild card rounds. They'll have a bunch of losing seasons in a row. But I feel like this season was the first season where they actually have tried to rebuild. The free agents they brought in, the names they brought in, all 27 years old or younger. They finally drafted a quarterback, number 1 overall. The last time they drafted a quarterback in the first round was Jamarcus Russell. So, they're making some moves to get a true youth movement going. And Kirk Cousins will be the starting quarterback, but I think it's not because they want to be able to compete right away. They don't want to put Fernando Mendoza in a hard situation. So in a sense, Kirk Cousins is a little bit of a test dummy. Like, can we get this offensive line going? Can we get this run game going? Can we have some proof that we can support a young quarterback? And then we'll put him in later. And if you look at the Raiders schedule, it's hard. It is not an easy schedule. I believe it's one of the hardest schedules for any team in NFL. So I would say the 5.5 over under for win totals for the Raiders is pretty close to reality. I think a successful year would be 6 to 7 wins. and you just show that you're competitive.
Okay. Well, they open up against the Dolphins, so maybe they can get off to a good start there. We'll see. And then, they got the Chargers second, and the Chargers, there's a lot of people I've noticed. A lot of people are pretty high on the Chargers. My producer Connor's a huge Charger fan for years, so he always likes to temper the expectations. But you look at kind of the pieces they have. Bringing in the new offensive coordinator. What's your thoughts? Can the Chargers maybe kind of finally live up to what a lot of people thought has been on paper pretty good teams that have never really been that good on the field?
Yeah, I mean, the issue with the Chargers, it's almost always injury related. So, like, when you look at their roster right now, it looks like a great roster. I know some people wanted them to do a little bit more work with their offensive line, but when you're getting back Joe Alt and you're getting back Rashawn Slater, you added a pretty good center, a perfect fit for this offense. And you see the work that Mike McDaniel has been able to do without really a lot of offensive line talent. I just believe that this team is on a right trajectory. I really love what Mike McDaniel did as an offensive play caller. I don't really like him as a head coach, but I like to see what he does with Justin Herbert going from Tua to Herbert's just a huge upgrade. He's going to be able to expand and open up that offense. I am a little bit concerned for their defense, though, because I feel like they've been punching above their weight class defensively. I think Jesse Minter was a big reason for that. And now they're going to an unproven defensive coordinator that never has called plays in the NFL before. How is he going to transition? And will he be able to squeeze as much as Minter was able to get from these guys?
Ted Witten joining us here on the Jason Gregor Show, taking a look around the NFL. And Ted, kind of the big news to break yesterday, Vita Vea wanting the trade request out of Tampa. He's got 1 year left, 31 years old. And I know you had reported that it was California or Vegas. Is there a front runner right now where you think he could land up?
I wouldn't say there's a front runner. I would say, I mean, that report is basically what I know of the situation. And I don't know if there's a front runner, but I do think that there are some teams that make sense. I don't think the Rams have the cap space, especially when you put Aaron Donald, and I assume Aaron Donald's coming back.
Okay.
Especially when you add that contract to their cap situation already. I don't think they have the assets to do it. And when you look at the Chargers, I think the Chargers situation makes sense, but Joe Ortiz has been proven to be a very conservative general manager. So we'll see if they get aggressive and make a move there, but they do have the cap situation to do it. I think the Niners make sense. They have a ton of cap space. They need to make a move to kind of keep punching with the Rams, who got Myles Garrett and could get Aaron Donald. And the Raiders, like I said, they are rebuilding and they've prioritized younger players, but they have a huge need at nose tackle, and I think nose tackles generally age better than other position groups. So I think those would be my three top teams for Vita Vea.
Ted, right now it's an absolute soap opera when it comes to Brandon Ayuk and the 49ers. The wide receiver has done injuries, but there's also been off the field concerns as well. Where do you see him, if anywhere, playing the NFL this year?
Well, I mean, when you look at Brandon Ayuk and when he was at his best, he was one of the best receivers in NFL as far as efficiency numbers. Like the yard per route run was crazy. And obviously being in that Niners offense, playing for Kyle Shanahan had a lot to do with that. But the question is, how does he look like after the injury? There were some reports that he wasn't going to rehab, not doing the things that he was supposed to. So if he wasn't taking that part of his recovery seriously, like what kind of receiver, what kind of condition is that knee going to be? And we don't know. There's so much unknown with this situation. I think he's talented enough to where he should get another shot, but then you add in all the social media stuff. Like, do teams want that type of distraction? I think he ultimately will get a look because this is a league that's desperate for receiver talent, but it's going to be a mixed bag. We have no idea what you're going to get when you bring in Brandon Ayuk.
Ted Wayne of The Athletic joining us here on the Jason Gregor Show. I want to ask you about a couple of guys who are looking to bounce back this year, and we'll start off with Justin Jefferson out with the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the quarterback situation is tough, but we've seen a lot of guys, go to Minnesota and kind of rebound. In the race with McCarthy and Kyler Murray, who do you think comes out as QB1? And, what kind of year do you think they have with the loaded offense in Minnesota?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Kyler Murray. I think they have to kind of put up this facade that it's going to be a competition because they used a first-round draft pick on J.J. McCarthy. We've seen all the comments that Kevin O'Connell has made about teams failing young quarterbacks. So I don't think he wants to make it look like they're going to give up on him quite yet. I just think Kyler Murray is just so much more talented than JJ McCarthy from a physical standpoint, and he's had the experience in this league. He's played at a high level in this league before, and when you're bringing in Kyler Murray, that kind of talent on a minimum contract, I think it's just too much surplus value to ignore. Just adding that into this offense, and I think Kyler is a guy that's played in shotgun. He's played in spread type of systems. But a lot of the passing concepts, a lot of the routes he loves to throw really match up with Kevin O'Connell's offense. So I'm excited to see that. And I think if Kyler Murray's the guy, I think we're going to see a big-time bounce back from Justin Jefferson.
Ted Wynn joined us discussing the NFL. And the Kansas City Chiefs, the big story, hey, they might be getting a brand new stadium. But also Patrick Mahomes and his recovery. Now, I've seen him at practice. He's rolling out. He's doing all the drills. But you're not expecting him to play it all in the preseason, are you?
I wouldn't expect him to, but knowing Patrick Mahomes and what kind of competitive spirit and how much he wants to be out there, I think he'll be pushing. But I think it'll be up to the Chiefs. It'll be up to Andy Reid to kind of slow him down and try not to put him out there. Maybe he goes out there for one series in that second preseason game or the third preseason game just to kind of get his feet wet a little bit. But I would think he is way ahead of schedule as far as his knee recovery, being able to participate in practice. But is he cleared for contact? I don't know that yet.
Okay, so who knows? And obviously, his availability to start the season will impact a lot about the Chiefs. There's a Chiefs. Then there's also the team that a few years ago they're in the Super Bowl, and everyone's like, "Hey, these guys are going to be good." And then injuries and other things, and terrible starts. The Cincinnati Bengals, Ted, might be the team that has some of the best talent on paper, especially offensively, and hasn't equated to wins because their defense has just been brutal. Do you think the Bengals' defense is good enough this year for them to be a legit contender?
I think from a talent standpoint, they've made some huge improvements. I mean, they're good. They obviously added Dexter Lawrence, one of the best true nose tackles in the league. I think he's just a force multiplier in that defense. I think DJ Turner is one of the more underrated corners in the league. Dax Hill was starting to play some really good ball before he was hurt. So when you add him and DJ Turner together, I think anytime you have a really good cornerback duo, you have a chance to be good. But I do have some questions about their defensive coordinator. It was his first year coming from Notre Dame last year. To me, he's just an unproven name that hasn't shown that he can put together a successful unit in the league. So even though the talent is upgraded, I still have questions about the coaching until proven otherwise.
Okay. Do you have a surprise team to watch for this year? When you look at their offseason, you say, this is a team that maybe not a lot of people are talking about that I think is going to be good.
I think the Panthers was my pick for surprise team, but unfortunately they had a really bad injury, losing Nick Scorton, who was going to be their second edge. A lot of people were really encouraged with him. So they do have pretty good frontline talent, but they don't have a ton of depth. So anytime you have an injury like that, it's going to hurt. But I do think that their offense is going to be better. I think Bryce Young does limit their ceiling. But I just like what they have offensively. I think they're going to be able to score some points. Defensively, they were 22nd in DVOA last year. I think they could have improved to around 15th, but losing Scorton does stink. But I still think they have a chance to surprise some people this year.
On the other side of that, are there teams outside of them that was a playoff team last year that you're because we know there's always turnover in the NFL. It's not like you're going to have 13 out of the 14 teams making the playoffs again. Is there a playoff team that you see falling out, or two even?
Let's see. I would have to look over who made the playoffs last year. My memory does stink.
Well, I can tell you, Philadelphia. So I'll go in the NFC. Philly, okay. The Bears, the Packers, Panthers, Seahawks, Rams, 49ers, and then the AFC: Broncos, Chargers, Jags, Texans, Steelers, Patriots, Bills.
I would think I would watch out for the Packers. I mean, you're losing Micah Parsons. I think they believe there was announcements or some news saying that he was going to be out for at least a month. And that defense is so dependent on Micah Parsons and the pressure he brings that it's going to be tough to survive without him for a month. And when he does come back, is he going to be fully healthy? I think they already have some issues on the offensive line as far as injuries. They lost Romeo Dobbs. I think this is a team that has been just kind of deteriorating from talent for a little while. I think Matt LaFleur is a really good offensive coach, and he does hide some of those issues. And they lost a defensive coordinator. He got hired by the Dolphins as their head coach. So I think that's going to hurt as well. So I think the Packers would be a regression team to watch out for.
Okay. Ted, as always, really appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for this, and we'll talk to you throughout the year. Appreciate your time.
No problem. Thanks for having me on.
There you go. That's Ted Wynn joining us from The Athletic. And not only some great insight into the NFL, we learned about the Vietnamese language. And NG, they pronounce it because his last name is spelled Nguyen, pronounced Win. I like it. I like the name of his podcast, too. It's classic. Quick break. We'll come back. We have 5 questions. A lot of text to get to. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
The Bricks 55th Birthday Bash continues with big savings store-wide. Save on furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics. Plus take 55 months to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses. Or 36 months on appliances and electronics on approved credit. Find up to 30% off bedroom packages, up to 40% off select mattresses. And don't forget, you could be one of 275 winners with over $155,000 in prizes to be won. Hurry in. The Birthday Bash ends July 29 at The Brick. Saving you more.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchek here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
He came home, and right away I saw that look in his eyes. I knew what was coming. Before I could even speak, he raised his hand
and just kept texting me over and over, asking where I was, who I was with, demanding I respond immediately or I'd regret it. I couldn't escape.
Because he stepped in front of the door and locked it. I had nowhere to go. I was completely cut off.
From my friends and family. He deleted my social accounts, changed my passwords, blocked their numbers. I had no way to reach anyone. And that hurt.
More than you can imagine.
Tech abuse is real abuse. If you or someone you know is using technology to harm or control, change is possible. Learn how to end the violence at alberta.ca/endgbv. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Hockeyology, Edmonton's home for elite hockey development, skating analysis, performance assessment, and year-round training at West Edmonton Mall. Elite hockey development at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.445, we roll through Tuesday afternoon. How are you? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. As always, we appreciate it. Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. The storm risk for Edmonton anyway is around 6 to 9 if you get anything. So we'll see. Might be a little bit more east of Edmonton. There's a tornado watch on, which the watch. So we'll see where it goes from there. But anybody in between Edson and Edmonton, you might want to be aware, check things out, and hopefully everything's batching down and nothing serious hits. Let's get to 5 questions now, brought to you by The Brick. And you got a few days left. Come in late, baby. You can celebrate. They are celebrating their 55th birthday. 55 years since they started right here in Edmonton. Grown into one of the biggest companies in the country. It's awesome. Great success story locally. And they will celebrate with you. They're giving away over $155,000 in prizes in all departments, appliances, furniture, mattresses, and more. Check it out at The Brick and thebrick.com. Party goes until tomorrow.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, I touched on it a little bit on the roundtable, but when Quinn Hughes does get his extension, what do you think it's going to look like with the Wild if it happens there?
That's a good question. Ooh. I could see, I don't see it being the max term. Because I think why Minnesota right now would like to do it for 8 years, probably. So I'm going to guess 6 years at $17.5 million.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to highest paid defenseman for the time being until the next one comes up. I was thinking around in between Kaprizov and Connor Bedard, but you probably want to have Kaprizov as the highest paid player at $17 million. So let's go 15-5, and I'll go 5 years. But going to get paid handsomely, no doubt about it. Question number 2 for you. Before Monday or the deadline, how many trades do you think the Blue Jays make?
4.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. But I'll go a little higher. I'll take 5. I'll say they maybe throw someone, get a call late just before the deadline, and bump that number up to 5 for the Jays. Figuring out to move on. Question number 3. Where do you think the ideal landing spot would be for Bucks defensive lineman Vita Vea after he did request the trade yesterday?
Yeah. What's going on in Tampa Bay, man? All their good guys want to leave there. Is it maybe have to do with the head coach? I don't know. Might do something to watch for in Tampa. But I would now you can ask for a trade, but then say you only want to go to a few teams. Doesn't mean they're going to trade you. So, but I could see, even though they're not good, I'm going to say the Raiders.
I feel like that would just be such a bad move for the Raiders, but it wouldn't surprise me. They have that kind of history of doing it. I think it's got to be a team that's winning now. And if it is the report that Ted Wynn had, to me, it's biased. Chargers are, I think the 49ers would be a good one to do. And really, for the 49ers, like you said, you got to try to keep up with the Rams in that division. They just have so many pieces there. So I'll say the 49ers would be a good piece. Both teams could afford him. And hey, maybe that opens up the option for the team to spend some money on Baker Mayfield and give him that extension. Jalen Carter today got the biggest payday in NFL history for defensive tackles. So in honor of that, who are your top 3 interior defensive linemen of all time?
Go ahead.
Number 1 for me, Aaron Donald. I'll probably be recency bias, but yeah, he was just so dang good. You could probably line him up all over the place, and he found ways to get the job done. Thrived as a pass rusher, had the Super Bowl, Defensive Player of the Year, all that sort of thing. So I'll have him as my top one. A guy who I kind of caught the end of his career, but I know what he was able to do. Warren Sapp, I'll have it number 3. I didn't love him as a Raider, but when he played for the Bucks, he was very, very disruptive. And let's go John Randall, Minnesota Vikings legend, Hall of Famer. Undersized, but got the job done.
Okay. Well, if we're going all time, I think you got to go with Alan Page. He was a MVP in 1971. He's a 6-time All-Pro, 9-time Pro Bowler. So he was, I think he's one of only 2 defensive players in NFL history to win the regular season MVP. So part of the Purple People Eaters, sick name. And hey, man, the guy was not only was great on the field, pretty good commercials. I'll go with Mean Joe Green from the Steelers, 4-time Super Bowl champion. He was just a legendary heartbeat of that Steelers. What was it? The Steel Curtain.
Yeah,
so I'll go with the guys, and I'll also have Aaron Donald in there too.
Hey, Mean Joe, is that the one?
Yeah.
Final question for you today. It is National Water Park Day. So in honor of that, are you a water park person when it's compared to lakes and oceans? And what was the best water park you've ever been to?
I love water slides. So yeah, I'm all over it. Well, West Edmonton Mall is pretty damn good, right? I've been to a few, but I went to one in Minnesota when I was a kid, and I still remember it being awesome. So I got to remember at the time I was a kid that there's the water park here in Edmonton at that time wasn't even around yet. So it came later. So yeah, but the best one still, man, like honestly, that Minnesota one, just from what I remember as a kid, I was loving it. So I'd probably go there.
Yeah, I mean, I would much rather go to the water slides. I don't like the lakes and oceans. I will deal with them, tolerate them, but not my favorite thing. Don't like the fish in there. I got to give a shout out to the one that was it Winterbird Road?
Oh, that was a classic.
Wild Waters,
one.
I think.
Wild Waters. Yeah.
That one was unbelievable. Had some good times there growing up on the West End. And then also Sylvan Lake.
Sylvan Lake. I was just about to say, man, I love that. Remember when they had the tubes and it had like the sets of pockets of water and you'd come flying down and you'd crash into everybody? Oh, it was so good.
They had one that was like a half pipe too. I think it was groups of 2 or 3 on the bigger tubes. Yeah, those were unbelievable. Well worth the drive. That one closed, I think, 10 years ago, actually. But the memories will last forever. It was unbelievable. They should bring it back.
Yeah. We're getting a lot of them. Silverwood in Idaho. I've heard of it. I've never been there, Matt. But Mark, excuse me. But I have heard of it, and I hear it's unreal. So I like a good water park, buddy. It's like roller coasters, man. I love a good roller coaster. It's not just a spinorama one.
Mm-hmm.
But you see some of those ones on video, like they're epic now. That I'm like, I wouldn't mind going. And my son is entering the age of roller coasters, so like I can't go on a lot of rides at the parks. Like anything that's just too much spinning, I'm out. I don't like. But a roller coaster, like if it has a circle in it, I'm fine. Like I don't care. We do a loop here, do a loop there, no problem. But I'm looking forward to it. When we went to LA, we went to Six Flags, Connor Halley. Unreal. And it was just like kind of basically adult roller coasters, and they were outstanding. I loved pretty much everyone was like a massive roller coaster. Like there was one that you kind of sat in a chair where the big thick bar is above you, and it was almost like you were spinning. Not spinning, excuse me, like going sideways. And as you go through it's through the trees. And so you're swaying, you're thinking, oh my God, we're gonna hit the tree, but you never did. It was awesome. So I'll go with that. So nice.
Sounds awesome.
Oh, dude. I love a good roller coaster. I'd be all over it. Right? Nowadays they have the Whibbit at Sylvan Lake. Ever been on the Whibbit?
No.
Oh. It's basically like an obstacle course on the water. Right? Where you're running, but it's got a slip and slide so you try to run, man. Watching the people white up on that is unbelievable. It's hilarious. So you got to have some balance. And if you fall in the lake, which is fine. You get back out. It's quite good. I'm a big fan of the Whibbits. I quite like it. So.
Does look good.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. Yeah. When Benny gets older, you got to go. He's not old enough yet, but when he gets older, you go. Whibbits from ages like, I think 8 to 16 is like prime time. It's prime time. Maybe even a little bit older than 8, maybe 9 or 10, but it's awesome. Depending on the thrill factor of your kid. So for sure, it's pretty good. So there you go. Let's get to Connor Halley and his sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Got a few days left till Friday. Employee pricing, where you get fantastic deals. You pay what they pay. That's a pretty good deal. Check it out all week long, northgategm.com.
Sports 1440 update.
Toronto Blue Jays in action tonight. Currently rain delay in Washington. We'll join that game in progress immediately following the Jason Gregor Show on our AM feed right now. Diamondbacks up on the Pirates 1-0. Orioles and Tigers scoreless. Marlins away 1-0 over the Phillies. Rangers Rays scoreless in the second. Later tonight, Reds and Guardians game 2 of their doubleheader in game 1. The Guardians victorious 6-5. Got the Yankees, White Sox, Cards, Cubbies, Astros, Angels, Athletics hosting the Red Sox. Rockies head to San Diego, and the Dodgers up against the Seattle Mariners. From the NFL, Philadelphia Eagles signing 2-time Pro Bowl selection Jalen Carter to a 4-year extension worth $152 million, $106 guaranteed. And the Browns signing cornerback Denzel Ward, 2 years, $62 million, $52 guaranteed. That makes him the highest paid defensive back in NFL history for the second time in his career. And Draymond Green agreeing to return to the Golden State Warriors 1 year, $27.7 million. The Riverhawks season winding down there in Kamloops tonight. First pitch set for 7:35. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet. We will hear from Anthony LaPanta, voice of the Minnesota Wild, and we'll get to Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
At Papa John's, we know it's not just a pizza. It's a family gathering. A happy birthday, a special celebration, or just a sigh of relief at the end of a busy day. For a limited time, get large one-topping pizzas for only $14.99 each on original, thin, or New York-style crust. Use promo code L1499 at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
At GS Construction, people grow with the company. 50 years of experience doesn't live in a binder on a shelf. It lives in our people at every level, passed down on every site. Many of us started with a shovel in our hands and built whole careers here. The work is honest. The company's been around since 1974. So if it all sounds good to you and you want to grow with us, GS Construction is currently looking for experienced pipe layers and topmen. No shovel required. Visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the Power Play 24/7 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Feeling overwhelmed by debt? Concerned about what the next few weeks or months will bring for your finances? My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. You don't have to navigate this alone. Together, we can review your options and build a personalized plan to reduce your payments and get you out of debt so you can breathe again. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
So you're dying from the heat, sweat dripping on your sheets. You want to cool it down, but your AC can't compete. So you fall upon your knees and cry out, oh please, I need a cooling breeze. Send me Legacy's AC Repairman. Legacy's AC Repairman. AC Repairman.
Can't spell legacy without AC. Legacy Heating and Cooling's got a guy who's really good at fixing broken ACs. So if you got one, call Legacy. Okay, see you later. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
.501, how you doing? Tuesday afternoon, the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can always get out on the action. NFL, CFL, MLB, NHL, you got it all. NHL, you've gotten a little nervousness. Well, guess what? You can get your outrights. Check out. Hey, do you think the who's gonna win the championship right now? Who do you think's a favorite to win the cup next year? PlayAlberta.ca. Florida Panthers, then Carolina, Colorado, Edmonton is 4th, Vegas 5th, Tampa Bay is 6th, and then the Wild are 7th. So Montreal Canadiens, if you're wondering, they're in the top 10. They're a 10th, 23-1. So dare to dream, Water fans. Dare to dream. PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to the spec report now, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. And they're hiring. If you're looking for a great job with a great company, lots of great benefits and opportunity for growth, go to gsconstruction.ca and look up careers. Hey, speaking of roller coasters, are they putting in a new one in West Edmonton Mall from Inspector Trav? Well, I know that they took out the old one, and I heard they were putting in a new ride, but I don't know what it is. Does anybody know? The Mind Bender was in for a long time. I actually rode the Mind Bender a few hours before the crash, which was kind of crazy. So
really,
yes. I wasn't on one because back then there was red, blue, and yellow, and the one I was on wasn't the color that crashed. So,
and you still do coasters?
Oh yeah, like come on, like I wasn't on it. It's like it's very unfortunate. Obviously, people died, and there's some serious injuries, and it was terrible. Don't get me wrong, but the odds are extremely low when you look at how many people ride roller coasters. Like it'd be like saying, you know what, I saw a car crash and now I don't want to drive my car. Like, and now I know that someone say, well, Gregor, you need cars to get around for work. You don't need to go on a roller coaster. Sure. In theory, you are correct. But I have a need for speed, Connor Halley. No, I'm kidding. I know I kind of like, now it's not like I go on roller coasters a ton. I'm not going on a roller coaster every week. Like, you know what? Usually, when they come to town at K-Days, I'll go on a roller coaster. But those aren't like, after you go to Six Flags, man, like those roller coasters are kind of like, they're the minor leagues of roller coasters. I'm talking a big one. We got a lot of people texting, yes, it's going to be a new roller coaster. All right. I'll be curious what it looks like. Fantastic. Maybe we'll get a chance to go on the maiden voyage for it. We'll see, but I would sign up for it. I'm all over it. Hopefully it's a good one. Like that's a legit roller coaster. It's a big one. Now there's levels for sure. I watched some of those roller coasters that they have online. You see some videos of places where like, you know what? Like that one looks like pretty crazy. Like you watch, and I don't know if like Japan just seems to have, wild roller coasters. And So we're not necessarily there yet, but I don't know if I would plan a trip around a roller coaster, but like there's the one in Saudi Arabia. That's and then Japan, like I think there's that one. There's also the one in the States. And I could have the name wrong. I thought it was like Top Thrill 2 or something like that. But like the fastest one I know is in Saudi Arabia. It's the tallest and it's the fastest. Like I couldn't imagine what that would be like. Like that's new level of roller coasters even for me. I don't know if I'd go on that one, but I'd like to go at least see it. Right? It hits a top speed of 250 kilometers. Oh man. You are in Saudi Arabia. Like the highest peak of it is 163 meters, 535 feet. I just looked this up now. And reaches a top speed of 249.9 kilometers an hour. God, that is fast, dude. So there's also the one, it's Top Thrill in the USA, in Ohio. It shoots riders backwards and forward up a 420-foot vertical pylon at 120 miles an hour. Backwards? I don't even see where I'm going. That's I don't know about that. And there's the Fourth Dimension coaster in Japan, where the seats spin 360 degrees independently on a separate axis, meaning riders flip head over heels unpredictable through a massive disorienting layout. No thanks. No, I'm out on that one. You got me. Any of the spinning ones, I'm out. And I don't know. See, Collins, you know how you said, do I go on roller coasters again? I do. But I went on a ride. I can't even remember the name of it now, but because I know there's one, they still come in around, and it basically, you stand up against the wall, right? And it's in a straight circle, right? And everybody and you're standing up the whole time in the ride, and they put the seatbelt on your waist around there, and you stand up and it goes around and then it ends up going up and down. And I can't remember the name of it, but it was red and white. And there was a kid who puked on it while the ride was going on, and the puke landed in the stall, thank God, right beside me. But I don't do great with vomit. Like if I see someone vomiting, anything like that, I'm all of a sudden like, ooh. And so I was like, I'm out. And I've never been on that ride again. So I get it, but that's just disgusting for me. I can't remember the name of it. It was at the Leduc Fair, and I've seen it. It was in St. Albert. My son and his buddies went on it. Now it's green and red, but it's basically the same ride, just a different name. I'll never go on it. Never again.
I'm watching a POV of that Falcons flight, the Saudi Arabia coaster.
Yeah.
Kind of getting queasy just from this. Like, it is massive. It is incredible.
Yeah. I'd be interested. Where's Speck? Where the hell is he?
Don't know.
Oh.
He's not answering his phone.
He's MIA?
Yeah.
What a donkey. Send him a text.
And we were right on time today, too.
Yeah. Send him a text. So we'll see. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, Veloso Coaster in Orlando is amazing. You can see that at Universal. It's another place I've never been. I've never actually been to Universal. Oh, no, that's not true. I went to Universal Studios, but I've never been to Disneyland or Disney World.
Any plans to?
I don't want to say it too loud. My son's never asked to go, so I don't like. I ain't going by myself. Like, I'm not an adult. Like, I would go on the rides, but I don't know. I know they say you're supposed to go. It's Kids Wonderland, but I don't know. I never went. I don't feel like I've missed out on life. So, it the Gravitron? No, not the Gravitron. The Gravitron's where you stick to the wall, right, as it spins. No, this one wasn't that one. It didn't stick to the wall. That's how the ride started. So it wasn't the Gravitron. I went on the Gravitron. No one puked. I felt like it, but I didn't. But no, didn't go on. Didn't like it. Not my thing. It's too spinny. Can't do that. The spins get me. Not my thing. Now, while we wait for Spec, let's get to a conversation I had catching up with the defensive coordinator of the Elks, JC Sherritt, and just talking about thoughts on the D, like kind of the first game really that they gave up a lot. And so what did he see in the game on film is looking forward to this week?
I think they battled. When you look at, speed and violence is something we preach a lot here, and they played with it from start to finish. And that was encouraging. I thought we fit the run really well. But there's no question that the explosive plays put our team in jeopardy. Our offense carried us that game. So that's a big focus for us, is obviously keeping the top on, and then you got to win your one-on-ones. And there's certain times where, you got to tip your hat. If they're making a one-handed catch on the sideline with the perfect ball, that's a good play. But if they're running by us in certain coverages, that's not okay.
Despite the points that you gave up in the fourth quarter, you had two massive stands. When the game was close, one led to no points, another time just a field goal that allowed you to obviously march the field. So when you look at that as a coach and you look at the big picture and you say, yeah, you know what, when it was time to really clamp down, we were able to do it.
Yeah, I think they battled the first drive for sure. The second drive, I think you look at that incomplete pass, it's tough to be truly happy with it because we busted the coverage and the ball just didn't find the receiver. So, the football gods blessed us with that. But at the end of the day, those guys didn't flinch. They kept the right attitude, the right mentality, and found a way at the end of the day.
You've been through, back-to-backs many times as a player and as a coach. How does it change as far as, is it easier to prepare for a defense, seeing the team again, knowing it's fresh in your mind exactly what their offense does, or are you expecting their offense to look completely different?
I think they're going to do what they're going to do. They're a very sound football team. We know they're going to have wrinkles in the run game and pass, but I think both teams are just trying to fine-tune mistakes they made in that game and then try to see where other weaknesses were that maybe they didn't find.
You've had now 3-4 games to see a rookie in Jabomi. And I know that Nick Anderson's close, and maybe the following week he'll play. But as you look through the film and how he grades out, what have you seen as the areas of the biggest improvement from Jabomi from his first start in BC till now?
His footwork in the box and his run recognition has – every game he plays, he gets better. And the biggest compliment I can give a player is we trust him. We trust him out there to make plays. And that's the thing that he's not just out there, he's making plays. So to watch him grow every game is very encouraging.
Having been a middle linebacker, being a rookie middle linebacker, coming in almost a similar situation as him, is it easier for you as a coach to kind of relate to what he's doing? And as you evaluate him, understand like the human element of how difficult it is to come in as a rookie in pro football?
Yeah, absolutely. There's things that happen where you just say, okay, that's the first time he's seen that. We'll be okay. And the way he responds to his mistakes is, like I said, that's everything you're looking for in a football player, in a young player. He makes a mistake, you teach him how to correct it, and he corrects it. And that's all you can ask.
I've been asking lots of guys, so what is JC Sherritt doing when Blanchard's lining up for the field goal?
I was watching the TV. I was watching the big screen. I was just watching it. And, I've done the look away. I've done the look at the kicker. I went look at the screen, so I'll be looking at the screen from now on.
And can you kind of describe your emotions when that kick goes through?
Electricity. I mean, that's it, electricity.
And for your group overall, there seems to be a lot of fun. Obviously, winning's fun. Don't get me wrong, but the team is close, and I do get the sense that just from Coach Killen, like I see his excitement and enthusiasm. Like not a lot of coaches show that. Everybody's different, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just that's who he is. It seems to resonate with your group. Like it's a very serious group when it matters, but you also can have fun and enjoy the moment.
I mean, that's killer in a nutshell. We enjoy coming to work because of who our boss is, and that reverberates through everybody. And like you said, when it's time to work, it's time to work, but it's a team who enjoys and cares about each other.
And the Elks, they're off to a really good start. 6-1, first place in the West and an opportunity to sweep the Riders. And Brian Desjardins at Elks Nation has his game notes every week, and I'm telling you, they're awesome. So and check those out, and we'll get that up. I think they come out either later tonight or tomorrow, which is awesome. Well, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We got more Elks. We'll see if Speck has woken from his nap, and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Diamond Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped, top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos. For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
The Brick's 55th birthday bash continues with big savings store-wide. Save on furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics. Plus, take 55 months to pay with 0% interest on furniture and mattresses, or 36 months on appliances and electronics on approved credit. Find up to 30% off bedroom packages, up to 40% off select mattresses, and don't forget, you could be one of 275 winners with over $155,000 in prizes to be won. Hurry in, the birthday bash ends July 29th at the Brick. Saving you more.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with trackhoe or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with trackhoe or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Need an excuse to upgrade your ride? Well, we got a few to share. Go Auto has over 18,000 new and used vehicles ready to test drive right now. With more than 70 locations, your perfect match could be closer than you think. A family-friendly SUV for soccer practice, a fuel-sipping commuter, or a hardworking truck that's ready for anything. Trusted brands and a team that's actually happy to help. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
You've got better things to do than wait for an oil change. Jiffy Lube gets you in and out fast. No appointment necessary. All you have to do is roll into a location near you, and we'll take care of the rest. Every full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube is warranty approved and comes with a 20-point visual inspection, making sure you get back on the road safely. Find your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at whatsyourshare.ca.
We were at a party with some friends. I was having fun. He wasn't. He gave me a look, grabbed my arm, squeezed, then yanked me towards
the front door. Was under his watch 24/7. He didn't install a doorbell camera for safety. He did it to control me, to track me, to keep me at home
right where he got inches from my face and started yelling, asking, "Why do you smile at other guys so much?" I rubbed the marks on my arm. I still felt his fingers digging into my bank accounts. He changed my passwords, locked my cards, said I couldn't be trusted with my own money. It hurt. More than you can imagine.
Tech abuse is real abuse. If you or someone you know is using technology to harm or control, change is possible. Learn how to end the violence at alberta.ca/endgbv. A message from the Government of Alberta.
So you're dying from the heat, sweat dripping on your sheets. You want to cool it down, but your AC can't compete. So you fall upon your knees and cry out, "Oh please, I need a cooling breeze. Send me Legacy's AC repair." Legacy's AC repairman. AC repairman. Spell Legacy without AC. Legacy Heating and Cooling's got a guy who's really good at fixing broken ACs. So if you got one, call Legacy. Okay, see you later. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show on Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports is Sports 1440, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only all-in-one play experience. Casinos, sports, and lottery. One account, one wallet, one app. Here's Jason Gregor.
.522 rolling through. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. You make your way home tonight and check out, if you're a big baseball fan, lots of baseball action going on. Riverhawks are on the road for their final road trip, 9 games, in fact, for them. The Blue Jays are playing Cons. Is there a score yet in that Jays game tonight?
Rain delay in the Washington area.
Oh, there you go. So rain delay. Oh, it's already like over a half an hour of rain delay. So we'll see if that game, if it does get up and going, we'll have it here on Sports 1440. Now we get to our NHL report brought to you by Go Auto. Looking for vehicles? Best place to look, goauto.ca. They have over 17,000 vehicles at 73 locations. Find one near you, goauto.ca. And there's lots of stories still going on in the NHL. One that's because there's a talk that they're meeting between the GM and the agent and the player, the Minnesota Wild, who of course have now the second highest contract in the NHL with Kaprizov. Now that the highest paid player is young Leo Carlson at $18 million. Will they have another player at $17 million? We'll find out. Anthony LaPanta joins to touch on the Minnesota Wild. I guess we're having some technical difficulties, so we'll get that figured out momentarily. But the Wild, that will be an interesting one for me to watch to see if I think he's going to sign. I could be wrong. Like I don't know anything about Quinn Hughes, but how he left Vancouver, he got everything he wanted in Minnesota. I'd be surprised if he didn't sign an extension. How much, how long remains to be seen. And Anthony LaPanta joins us to give us his thoughts on the Wild. Anthony, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I apologize for missing you earlier in the show.
Hey, no problem, man. We appreciate you coming on later. So obviously in Minnesota, that's a big story. The Quinn Hughes contract and reports that he's met with Bill Guerin. What's your insight? What's your gut feel on negotiations with Quinn Hughes and the Wild, and how confident are you think that he would sign there?
I don't really have any insight into the negotiations, but my gut tells me that he will sign with the Wild. And we've heard anything that the Wild are, they'd love to lock him up for as long as he's willing to stay. And, we know that rule is changing. So the Wild would love to get him locked in for as long term as they can. Everything we've heard is that he might be more interested in a shorter term, a 3-year extension, which would leave him in a wild sweater for the next 4 years. And it makes some sense. It lines him up with when his brother becomes a free agent. I think it'll be at least that. I think it'll be a lucrative contract, to say the least. And it'll put the Wild in probably unforeseen salary territory. Well, you might have two players making somewhere in the neighborhood of $35-36 million.
Yeah, like I think like would he need to be paid more than Kaprizov? Is that the number in your eyes, do you think? I don't think it really has anything to do with that. I actually thought this would probably be done already. And the only thing I can think about is that he might have been waiting a little bit just to see what other moves the Wild would make before he was willing to commit to a chunk of his future to a team that I think he thought when he got here last year that they had a legitimate chance to win. And they did win a playoff series. I think they did feel that they had taken a step and that they were close. And he might have just been waiting to see, before I lock in for anything more than the next 3 years, I want to see who else comes in. And if you're the Wild, it might not be the worst thing in the world to be able to maintain as much flexibility as possible when you're trying to still go out and get one more piece in a trade. But I think you've now gotten to the point where they need some cost certainty. They need to know, what do I have to work with? How much money am I going to have underneath the cap in these coming seasons? And, you know, all of the trade rumors are still out there. So I think it's more just Quinn wants to see what the rest of the roster looks like. Then I don't think it makes any difference to him if he makes more, less, or anything else compared to Kirill Kaprizov. Okay. When you look at the Wild's offseason thus far, like, they're a good team. I think most people would look at the Wild and say they're probably close to a top 8 team. You know, when the season starts, a legit contender. You got Kaprizov, you got Boldy, you got two legit offensive guys. Obviously, Quinn Hughes, Brock Faber, pretty good. Now, what about the goaltending? Gustafsson, how long is he out for? Well, everything we've heard is that they're expecting he'll be ready sometime in November. Okay. So it'll be Wallsted's net up until that time. And he obviously showed last year that he's capable of grabbing the net as a number one guy. He took the job away from Gus down the stretch last year and became the guy in the playoffs. And it's not to say that the job is his when Gus returns. I think it'll be a good 1-2 punch for Minnesota, but it'll be Wallsted's net for October and probably half of November. They did sign Calvin Pickard as a backup, a proven backup that can jump in there. The schedule isn't grueling early with back-to-backs or anything. There are a lot of road games early, but I think they might be able to get away with Wallsted in the 70%, 75% of the games kind of category until Gus comes back. And then I think they're really hoping that when Gus comes back, that he looks like the Gustafsson of the year before, when he wouldn't allow the net to be taken from him, as opposed to last year where he struggled down the stretch and lost the job to Wallsted. Did you see anything in his game that led to his struggles last year? I think he just, he was good for most of the year. There were long stretches where he was the better of the two goalies and was a big reason why the Wild were where they were in the standings. But down the stretch, I think Wallsted put some pressure on him when he started to play well. I think it's fair to say that we now know that Gus wasn't 100% as he's had to have the surgery that'll hold him out until mid-November. But I think it just got to him a little bit mentally where he started to hear the questions every day. All of a sudden it was, is it really going to be Gus game one in the playoffs? Should it be Gus game one in the playoffs? And I think that got to him down the stretch because most of the season he was solid. It was just the last maybe 4 or 5 weeks of the year where we started to see him slip. And it became a relatively obvious choice for John Hines going into the playoffs. Wallsted was the guy. He had played better toward the end of the season, played significantly better over the last 3 weeks or so of the season, and he had to go with the hot hand. Yeah, that makes sense. Anthony DePantha joins us talking Minnesota Wild. Bill Guerin has come in and he's been ultra aggressive since taking over as a GM. I don't expect that to change. Jared Spurgeon's also entering the last year of his deal, Anthony. He's the captain of the team. What do you think happens with Spurgeon when this contract's over?
Boy, that's a tough question. I think Spurgeon. I don't think Spurgeon wants to go anywhere else. I think he views himself as a member of the Minnesota Wild, and he would love to stay. I think it really depends on the development of some of the young guys. There's a question about Jonas Brodin too, who's these guys have been the anchor of the Wild defensive core for so long, and now if you lock up Quinn Hughes for the next 3-4 years, and Brock Faber is already locked up, you'd have to get to a point. I mean, there's no way that they can pay Spurgeon as much as they were paying him on the last deal. So it would just kind of have to become what's reasonable in terms of a pay cut for a guy who's been a tremendous member of the organization, a tremendous captain. He's been a big part of the turnover and culture that the Wild have seen here over the last few years. I think there's no question that Bill Guerin would love to have him back, but it's, you're also starting to talk about an undersized defenseman that's getting close to 40 years old. You have to wonder just how many years does he have left? How much more can he withstand the grind of a full season in a really tough role?
Are there any young players in the organization that you think will be a regular in the lineup this season?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it depends on how you define youngsters, because I think Danila Yurov will be, but he was there last year. He was pretty much there last year. So the only guy that I'd say that I think the two guys that I would say are going to warrant a really long look in training camp are Charlie Stramel, who was the Wild's #1 pick a few years ago, struggled early in his collegiate career, but really came on at the end and had a terrific finish to his college career. And I think now has put himself back on the radar of the Wild. And then another is Hunter Haight, who we saw briefly last year, showed some flashes of a guy with some offensive skill. And I think both of those guys will get good long looks in training camp. If I had to guess, there's a chance they both start the season in Iowa, or at least one of them does. And then I think the other guy to watch is the guy they signed from the Islanders, Shabanov, who has put up some big numbers in the KHL in his career. Didn't really get a lot of looks high in the lineup with the Islanders, but it sounds like unless there's another major deal made by the Wild here before the season, that he might get a long look in a top 6 forward role. And who knows? You never know. You throw a guy with some skill on a line with Kirill Kaprizov or with Matt Boldy, and maybe there's a little magic there. But I think there are jobs that are available for these kind of players, and they're all going to get an opportunity to take that and grab it. But they're all in the spot where they don't have that the pedigree of a #1 overall pick or something like that, where the team is just going to give them a shot. It's going to be, you're going to get an opportunity, and when you do, you better prove something, show something, make it impossible for the organization to turn a different way, send you down, give somebody else that spot in the lineup. I think those are the guys that probably have the best chance to make an impact this year for Minnesota.
And Anthony, the center ice depth is obviously a question in Minnesota. There's the Dylan Larkin rumors. He still hasn't been dealt. They don't have a GM yet. But do you think, do they have enough to offer a legit trade, do you think, to get Dylan Larkin? And how serious do you think they still are in the hunt for Larkin?
Well, I think they're really seriously still in the hunt. And I think the Steve Yzerman resignation really delayed this at the very least and changed the dynamic for certain. And they have their legitimate package includes more futures than presents. And the rumors are that the package included a couple of #1 picks, Danila Yurov, maybe Stramel in that deal, maybe Yakov Trenyan, but that the Red Wings were dragging their feet because they didn't want to take a step back and trade now for the future necessarily. And I think now with Yzerman stepping down, you could see this going a couple different ways. One, maybe the fan base and the organization itself, when somebody new comes in, will say, you got a little more leeway to do not necessarily a rebuild, but at least a reset from Stevie Yzerman's plan. Whereas if he's still the guy, I think that would have been really hard for him to accept a trade for his captain that was futures laden like what the Wild were offering. Now, the other part of this is that when this all started and Larkin requested the trade, I didn't see how you could possibly back down from that and then mend the fences with the fan base and the organization to say, okay, now we couldn't get the right deal, so he's happy to be here and wants to stay and all of that. But perhaps now with a new GM, you can spin that to be, well, the problem was he didn't see eye to eye with the plan. Now that we've changed something in the front office, now he's all in and wants to be a Red Wing again. I think there's at least a chance now that could happen, where before the resignation, I would have said it was 90-10 that he was going to wind up getting traded somewhere. And it was just a matter of, was Bill Guerin going to blink and add to this package? Was Steve Yzerman going to blink and say, okay, this is the best I've got, and my guy only wants to go to 2 teams?
Yeah.
You just didn't know which way it was going to go. Now with this, I think it's opened up some other possibilities in the situation.
Anthony, great stuff, man. We really appreciate you sticking with us here today. Thanks for that, and have yourself a good offseason.
Yep, you too. Look forward to seeing you around the rink.
You betcha. There's Anthony LaPanta from the Minnesota Wild. Still in on the Larkin deal. Could they get it? They need a center, man. Like that. Hey, I like Joel Eriksson-Ek, but he's not a number one center. They need a top-line center. Now, hard to find. But if they get one, that would help. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Speck has woken up from his nap. He will join us to wrap up the show. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 air conditioning install company for lovers, because it's been a while since you kissed her tender lips or felt his warm embrace, because it's too hot for love. But you can rekindle that fire with AC from Legacy with no payments and no interest for 1 year. Your legacy of love will grow stronger, because with AC from Legacy, it's never too hot for love.
Kickoff is coming August 1st. Elks, Rough Riders at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. The prehistoric party is back, presented by Purelator Tackle Hunger. Experience family-friendly fun all game long with a dinosaur-themed contest. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Don't let rookies scratch your custom wheels. Evolve Wheels and Tires uses premium touchless equipment designed to protect your wheel and tire investment. Trust the enthusiasts at Evolve Wheels and Tires, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride. Evolve your experience.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
We were at a party with some friends. I was having fun. He wasn't. He gave me a look, grabbed my arm, squeezed, then yanked me towards
the front door. Was under his watch 24/7. He didn't install a doorbell camera for safety. He did it to control me, to track me, to keep me at home. Right where
he got inches from my face and started yelling, asking, "Why do you smile at other guys so much?" I rubbed the marks on my arm. I still felt his fingers digging
into my bank accounts. He changed my passwords, locked my cards, said I couldn't be trusted with my own money. It hurt.
More than you can imagine.
Tech abuse is real abuse. If you or someone you know is using technology to harm or control, change is possible. Learn how to end the violence at alberta.ca/endgbv. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at sherbrooke.liquor.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
540, welcome back. If you're a Jays fan, hey, good timing. Hour-long delay, but first pitch will be in about 10 minutes' time, so you won't miss much. Our show ends, and we'll pick up the Jays game probably in the first inning. So there you have it. Now let's get to the delayed spec report brought to you by GS Construction as Mark Spector. Spec, you all right? Were you out golfing? What happened?
Yeah, GS Construction. I was actually constructing, so it's a pretty good theme. My place. So here's the story. First of all, I put my old turntable together last week and took out I got about 200 records from my youth. So I got all that set up at the cabin, so it's awesome. So today I'm putting a sink in here, put a new faucet in for Shelka. So I got the music cranked. I got an old record on, man. It's loud. There's nobody here but me. So I'm getting this faucet set up and it's working pretty good. And I look at my phone and I've got like 3 calls from you guys. It's like, what? It's 5:25. So I was just being a plumber, man. Just a music loving plumber. That's all I am.
God, I could just imagine your jeans hanging down, the crack of your ass showing. Yeah, you exactly. You'd be a plumber. That would definitely fit the bill.
I thought it was like 3:00 in the afternoon. I guess I work slow, you know.
Yeah, for sure. A few things today we were touching on. Where do you, because Low Tide and them were like, oh, geez, I'm not sure Howard's going to get to play out. I actually think the opposite. I think Isaac Howard. I was looking at Babcock. Obviously in Toronto it's different. They were a young team and they played a lot of young guys. But I went back to the year they won the cup, and he actually played a lot of his young guys. Right now, guys who are in like their second year, Yuri Hoodler, Filppula. Heck, Helm came in the playoffs and played 20 games after only 7 NHL games. If Howard plays well, I think he'll play 13 minutes.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I think you got to give him a shot, So I guess what I'd say to you is I think you're right. Babcock will give him a shot. What I want to see is how does that, define a shot? How long does he get? How long's his rope? 3 unproductive games and a goal goes in his own net and that's it? Does he get? Who's he playing with? Does he get a longer leash? Is a coach going to be patient with him? All of those things. I don't know who 2026 Babcock is compared to the Babcock you're talking about back when Darren Helm was a rookie. That's a long time ago, man. So I think you got to give him a chance. But I guess the what's up in the air for me is what exactly is a chance going to mean?
Well, I think like a regular slot. I think honestly, like I could see him playing 13 minutes a night. I think now he has to come in camp in great shape and, all that stuff. I get it. Like there's obviously, you're not just going to say, oh, hey, we traded for you, so you get every opportunity. But when I look at it, I see Podkolzin, Hyman, Savoy, and Howard as your top 6 wingers, Nugent Hopkins and Kapanen on your third line with Dickinson. Now that can move around different games because, I'm sure he's going to play Draisaitl with McDavid at some point just to appease them. But I could kind of see that situation unfolding. Like I don't necessarily see a lot of other guys that are like, now Trent Frederick, maybe he's a wild card as a third line player. We'll see. But I think there's opportunity here. Now Howard has to do it, right? It's not just, I never believe in gifting guys just ice time, but I think I talked to Keith Gretzky about Howard, man. He really liked his first year. Like he's been in the American League for a long time. He knows how hard that league is. And to be 24 goals in 47 games, man, it's pretty damn impressive.
Oh, for sure. He's like, to me, he's on the Matt Savoy track. Savoy went to the minors, had a really good year. So did Howard. Savoy came up, wasn't real productive in the first half of last season, but he played well, played smart, and earned his coach's trust and kept getting his ice time, right? He wasn't a liability. He didn't produce a whole bunch, but, he had some chances. And we kind of all got the feeling like, it's going to start going in for this guy here one of these days because he's earning this. He's earning his success. And to me, that's the template. If Howard can, Howard's got to do whatever it takes to earn Mike Babcock's trust. And it's probably not going to mean, well, I'm going out and scoring 20 goals in the first half. Like he's going to have to earn it other ways. He's going to have to earn it, with ways that don't show up on the score sheet, because that's what happens with rookies. And then when you get your reps and when you get his trust and when you get 40 games under your belt on the same team, you're not going up and down to Baco, you're established, you're getting comfortable, just like Savoy last year. In the last 40 games, maybe you take a step, right? Maybe the puck does start going in. Maybe you do start producing more points. So to me, that's, I think if Howard can do what Savoy did, bonus round, man, you got 2 good young players.
Yeah. So Savoy had the advantage of killing penalties, right? So, and that's where
Okay.
I don't think Howard's going to do it. But Savoy also didn't get to play top 6 minutes early on, and I think Howard might. That's where I think the difference is going to come. Yeah. So
Could be. Listen, I think what I want to say too is I'm not an Instagram guy, and I'm not digging into what the McDavids and the Drysaddles and all that do in the summer. But you can't avoid these pictures you see out there right now, and I would like to say that I think it's a sign of a really good team, like a good leadership. That all those guys are off for. I assume they're in Ontario because they have houses there.
They're at the Hyman's golf tournament.
Yeah, and they were just at Hyman's golf tournament. But the point I'm trying to make is this: they're getting together for their dinners, and Lauren, Kyle, McDavid's taking pictures and all that, and that's awesome. But I'm seeing Matt Savoy in there, and I'm seeing Ike Howard, and I'm seeing Colton Dock getting invited to these things. And to me, that's how you build a team, right? The big boys, like if I'm Colton Dock and I get a text from Connor McDavid says, "Hey, we're having a big dinner. I hope you can be there." Like, oh my God, I'm going to be there. You know, there are some teams where the top guys spend their summers together and they see the bottom guys at training camp. So I think it's awesome for this team that is certainly not the case. Like I thought it was really cool to see those young guys hanging out with the big boys all summer. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's always a good thing. I know that, Colton and Savoy had been training here. I talked to Colton and, so they went down there, I think, for Hyman's golf tournament and, maybe some other stuff. And like I said, like Colton Doc, I talked to Colton about how, really picking Zach Hyman's brain. Like you pick certain guys, like are the areas that Hyman does. Colton skates well, right? He's good and tight. Obviously not at Hyman's level yet, but he's the guy that you want to try to mold your game after to improve on the things that you're capable of doing. Like no one's going to McDavid to ask him like, hey, I want to see if I can skate like McDavid. It's just different, right? Hyman is somebody that's more, I think, relatable to the small details of your game. Work ethic you can get from McDavid, and obviously he can, help you in some areas, no question. But I think Hyman's a guy for sure for a guy like Colton Dock that you look at to say that style. What did you do? How do you use my body? Like Colton even said, he talked about just watching. This summer, he was watching a lot of Hyman shifts, seeing what he does and how he uses his body in small areas of the ice.
Yeah, and, there was a time when you looked at Zach Hyman and said, might be a third-line player in this league. Like, Zach Hyman didn't show up from Michigan.
No.
And everybody said first-line player, right?
No.
Zach Hyman rolled in. He was older. He's trying to find his way in Toronto. He wasn't a superstar. And, I don't know who he followed, but he found his way and he moved up and he, next thing you know, he's in Edmonton on McDavid's wing scoring 50 goals. Like, I guess what I'm saying here is I'm not going to tell you Colton Dock can't be a top 6 player. Like, I don't see one tomorrow in him for sure, but that's okay. I didn't see one. No one saw one in Hyman either. So why can't Colton Dock figure out, right? He does skate well. He does have size. That's 2 things you can't teach. And from there on in, it's hard work and it's brains. He seems like a smart guy. I think that's what Hyman has over most guys, right? Hyman's really smart and he computes the game and he knows where to go and when to do it and how to do all those things. If Doc can be that smart and that savvy, why can't he be a top 6 player, Jay?
Yeah, it's very possible, Spec.
One day.
We appreciate you taking a break from plumbing to join us on the show today. So we'll let you get back to fixing all your plumbing details, and we will chat with you tomorrow at 5:00.
All right. Sorry, brother. Sorry for being late.
It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. There you go. That's the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. And before we go, we got the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Here's the man, the myth, the legend, Cam Tate, and the 2-minute warning.
A question has intrigued me for a long while now. How much of a leader do you actually have to be to coach in the National Football League? Think about that for a moment. Leadership, coaching. We toss the words around as if they're the same thing, interchangeable, one implying the other. They are not. A coach can draw up the perfect blitz package. He can out-scheme a genius on the opposite sideline. But can he lead men? Actually lead them when the lights are brightest and the room is loudest? That's the real test. And it has nothing to do with a whiteboard. On Tuesday, in front of a small group of reporters in Santa Clara, San Francisco 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan says he's to blame for the July 14th car crash that left him with a concussion, broken ribs, a broken nose, and a broken hand. Quote, "I was not on my phone, but I dropped my phone and it was stuck in my seats. It's on my lap and it slid off. And I went down to look for it and took my eyes off the road for 2 seconds." Unquote. Shanahan was driving 20 miles an hour in Palo Alto when he struck a car driven by a 21-year-old woman. She sustained minor injuries and was not hospitalized. Shanahan was hospitalized and has missed the start of training camp. He was not contesting an early report that placed fault elsewhere. He says the crash was his. Shanahan didn't make those comments in a locker room. He made them in front of a handful of reporters on a Tuesday, weeks before a single snap. But I wonder if his players heard him too. And I wonder if it crosses their minds, not today, but months from now, trudging off the field after a missed assignment, asking themselves whether the man in charge would own it the way he did that day. So I'll leave it there. Kyle Shanahan's comments, Tuesday. Leadership? You tell me. There you go, buddy. 2-minute warning. This is Cam Tate. Sports 1440.
Yeah, Con, so, he was only going 20 miles an hour. He says he's not on his phone. His phone's in his lap. You're kind of on your phone if your phone's in your lap, are you not?
I mean, yeah, you drop it. I think most people, if you're a responsible driver, you'd say, I'll pull over or I'll just grab it later.
Yeah, like if it slid down, okay, I get, but like if your phone's on your lap, you're either planning on being on your phone or you're just on your phone, right?
Common sense would say yes.
Yeah, okay. So, you know what? Hey, he owned it because there was people trying to claim that the young girl was at fault. So I do like him coming out here. It's not the end of the world because trust me, you drive on the road to now, right now. Look how many people are driving with their damn phone in front of them. It's an epidemic problem. It happens all the time. I've seen people on the QE2 going 120 on their phone. I don't know, like adults, not teenagers, adults. I don't get it. So everybody who wants to be like, oh, Shanahan, oh, terrible, all this or that, like, give me a break, right? Like, sadly, he's just a human dude. And there's way too many right now. Like, I honestly believe we've got to make a much tougher law for distraction because there's way too many people on their phones. Way too many. Look right now. And if it's you, please get off your phone because he was only going 20 miles an hour and he had all those problems. People that are going 60 and 80, like, you're not going to get your life back. And there's nothing on your phone that's worth it. Okay? Nothing on your Instagram, nothing on your X, nothing anywhere. Like, sit back, turn some music on, turn on the radio, listen to the show, do whatever. But don't be texting and driving, please. Get home safe. Jays are coming up next. First pitch just happened. A rain delay in Washington, so you'll get the full game. Jays and the Nationals. After Connor Halley and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly. 780-265-0165. Sean Cunningham, Remax Real Estate. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Toronto Blue Jays are back in action, taking on the Nationals. A little bit of a rain delay. That one just underway, top of the first. We'll join it in progress immediately following the upcoming commercial break. Elsewhere, Rangers lead the Rays 2-0. Phillies trail the Marlins 1-0. Tigers all over the Orioles 8-0 in the fifth, while the Pirates at home trail the Diamondbacks 5-0. Later tonight, you got the Angels and the Astros, Red Sox, Athletics, Padres get the Rockies and the Brewers in San Fran. We'll wrap it up tonight with the Dodgers taking on the Mariners. Earlier today in game one of their doubleheader, Guardians victorious over the Reds by a score of 6-5. In the NFL, Eagles signing Pro Bowl tackle Jalen Carter to a 4-year, $152 million deal, including $106 guaranteed. While the Browns are retaining five-time Pro Bowl cornerback Denzel Ward, 2 years, $62 million. And in the association, Draymond Green sticking around with the Golden State Warriors, 1 year, $27.7 million. The Riverhawks season winding down. They'll take on Kamloops tonight. First pitch set for 7:35. Coming up next year on Sports 1440 on the AM dial, it is Blue Jays baseball. If you're streaming